stupid technologies.
Golly. Won't let us live.
Time I remember to do it.
Hey, Kevin the Raider Nerd. Hey, Yo. Raider Ryan, Lee B, Ron. Matthew Mangus, Raider Nick. Leave my hat alone, Matthew Mangus.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we got to do it again, too, because
there.
I'm still trying to get this thing going over here. So, here we go. One more time.
We just want to make sure you
guys
really
love
can hear
this
it.
song.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cousin Sonny, for the intro.
Yeah.
What's up, True Raider? Tide a Raider.
Okay.
All right. Audio's recording. Oh, no. I gotta get something.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, my gosh. That's all right.
It's okay.
The extended intro.
Oh. I was going to say that was like...
Boom. Hey, Jay Jackson. Hey, East Coast Raider. Thank you for the $10 donation.
Oh, thanks.
Jordan Ford says, the best intro ever.
We're really glad you love it.
All right, now we're situated. Hopefully the audio doesn't die.
Yeah.
Come on, Road. Jeez.
We're going to send them an email.
A strongly worded one,
Yes.
too. I love it. True Raider says, what's up to everyone? I'm in a great mood here.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yo says,
just press the damn button, nerd.
Jordan Ford says that your hat must think it's bedtime.
That must have been what it was.
It is, yeah.
I love the jokes around Jeff's hat.
I'm so
best.
I love it's called, a lot of people in the chat just call it the hat.
The hat.
The hat, yeah. All right, cross your fingers, cross your toes. Let's not hope, let's trust that the intro works this time and it doesn't everything die. All right, here we go. Episode number 336 of Raiders Fan Radio, Part 2.
What's up, guys? It's Rich Incognito, Las Vegas Raiders. I'm here at Raiders Fan Radio. Let's go, Raiders. Woo!
Hey, it's Mike Garafolo, NFL Network here in the home office, and you are listening to the Raiders Fan Radio Podcast, taking that lighter journey into the dark side with Murf, Swag Jeff, and Michelle. She's got great hair. It's a little pink, it's a little purple, whatever it is. I'll tell you what, if I could grow it, I would sign up for that color today. So listen to her and the entire crew as they give you all the information on the Raiders on the podcast that benefits the One Nation Foundation. It's a great cause. It's a great pod. Tune in, turn it up. Here it comes. All that Raiders info and takes coming at you right now.
Jackpot, baby. Raiders Fan Radio.
Oakland, L.A., Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murf's Man Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, Kolechnikov, a leaping pass, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, time running down. Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play. Well, I love this team. I think this team can win. I think this team can win.
You are listening live to Raiders Fan Radio. Take it away, guys.
Murf.
Why? Thank you, Brett Musburger. What is up, Raider Nation? Your buddy Murf back once again for what we trust will be a fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio, episode number 336. For those of you that are keeping score at home, the tale of the tape around here is that it is July 3rd.
Sure is, all day long.
On the freaking eve of not only the birth of the greatest nation in the world,
Come on.
but also the Raider Nation.
Yeah.
And Al Davis's birthday tomorrow, July 4th.
Right.
We're going to be talking about that here in a minute. A lot of fun stuff to get to tonight. You know, it's funny, like here we are in the offiest of the offseason, you know, and everyone's doing like their top 10 lists and doing like their Mount Rushmores and talking about the history of the team, which is always a blast. And we're going to do it around here too. But there's also like, there's plenty to talk about, man. There's never not things to talk about when it comes to the Raiders. We will always. And not even like have to dig that hard, man. Like there's always something relevant to the discussion about the Raiders, and look forward to doing that with you tonight. We love you so very much for joining us live. Those of you that are in the chat room, I appreciate Raider Nick that's in there. Appreciate Matthew Mangus, True Raider, Kevin the Raider Nerd. I'm going to leave it to Jeff to shout out what he just did in there. Jordan Ford is in there. Robert Pena is in there. Van City Raider is in there. What's up, Van City? Hey, Van City, did you see what the Nashville Predators did? We have poised ourselves to win a freaking Stanley Cup this year.
Coming after your ass.
SoCal Sal is in there. Wyoming Raider is in there, if I haven't mentioned him already. Lee B is in there. We appreciate so many of our good friends. East Coast Raider is in there. Paul is in there. Jay Jackson is in there. Yoshi is in there. Tider Raider is in there. Ron the Mater Raider is in there. My gosh, we got a packed house in the chat room tonight. And thank you all so very, very much for joining us for this episode 336 of Raiders Fan Radio.
Nice.
So if you want to join all the True Raider says he loves my hat. Thanks, man. This was the draft hat in
2019.
2019, yeah, absolutely.
Here in Nashville.
And speaking of Raider Nation, right? That's why I love it, man, with the American flag. They're the visage of the American flag anyways on there. So anyways, appreciate that, True Raider. And I wear my freaking red, white, and blue Metallica Stars and Stripes shirt too. Just because I got to save my For the Boys shirt. That's my favorite one to wear for 4th of July is the For the Boys one with the eagle on it and all that stuff. But I got to save that for tomorrow. All right. Anyways, but I digress. No one cares.
Thanks for telling us about your wardrobe.
I know normally it's your job.
Yeah. Like, normally that's me.
Yeah. Anyway, so if you want to join this amazing chat room, you can join them at youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio, where we will be live every single week throughout the entire month of July. So that's 5 straight shows and counting tonight And we're coming to you frequent this month because this is our last big push to raise money for the One Nation Foundation and our big donation to the Bolitnikovs this year. We've already hit 10 grand. We're going to shoot for 5, but we know we at least have $10,000. That's a little bit of a step back from prior year, but that's only because they moved the date up so much. And so we lost a couple of months of fundraising. So unfortunately, we may not be able to make that same donation to last year, but we're going to be very appreciative to present your generosity of $10,000. If not, maybe a little more. Maybe there's a 12 in there. Well, no, we'll see. Present that to the Bolitnikovs, and cannot do it without your generosity. And that's one of the things we're doing tonight is giving away an amazing jersey. Speaking of Fred Bolitnikov, but I'll leave it to Jeff to tell you about that. So let me go ahead and tell you one last thing. Please, if you would help us by not only hitting the like, hitting the subscribe, hitting a thumbs up, hitting a review. If you're on the audio podcast, you can find us on any audio podcast service, Apple and Google, and it's YouTube Music now or Amazon, whatever. If you can find a podcast service, you can find us on there, and we would appreciate you supporting this show because we can't grow the One Nation Foundation without support of this show. And even going to the YouTubes, man, like our YouTube numbers have kind of stalled out for a few months now, which is fine. We're not in it for the YouTube, subs per se. And I'll never want to be that guy to be like, hey, help us get our YouTube subscriptions up. But if you wouldn't be so inclined, or if you know a Raider fan and they get the dog whistle of what Raiders fan radio is, in its esoteric nature, then please hip them to our show. And we just ask for that like and that subscribe so we can grow the foundation. It's not about growing this show. It's about growing the foundation, the exposure, in order for us to generate money for Raiders related charities. All right. So without further ado, let me go ahead and turn it over to the man that adorns the Eastern Annex of the Murf's Fan Cave desk. He is my best friend and yours. He is Swag Jeff.
Here's Style and Profiler.
What up, Swaggo?
We're all here, man. My hat's here. This amazing AFL jersey. The drip is strong tonight. I'm feeling myself a little bit. You know what I mean? Hey, pause. But yeah, man, I'm fired up, and the chat room is fired up. The best chat room in all of Raider Nation is fired up. We had some amazing donations come in, and we'll be talking about that jersey that we're raffling off tonight here in just a moment. But Big Shane, Raider Kyle, Jason Hunter, and James Williams jumped in before the show even started with amazing donations to the One Nation Foundation for a chance to win that jersey. East Coast Raider jumped in there and said, Raiders 17-0, let's go. Raider Nation for life with a $10 donation.
Hey,
much respect.
Thank you.
Kevin the Raider Nerd jumps in there and says, Raiders in movies and television coming soon to the Fandom Podcast Network with special guest Murf and Rich Schmelter.
Yes.
That is July 18th, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, with a $20 donation to the One Nation Foundation. And then our buddy Matthew Menges jumps in there and says, One Chip Gang, go Raiders, with a $10 donation as well.
Thank you, Matthew. Is it Matthew you said? Matthew? Yeah, thank you, Matthew.
Menges, yep, 100%. And Lee B in the chat says, I just dropped $25 to the PayPal. Yep, 100%. And you know what? You know what, Lee B? I'll drop you the extra 5. So we'll give you 3 poker chips tonight. For that as well. So yeah, but the whole crew's here. Jordan Ford jumping in with a 20.
Oh my gosh, Jordan Ford. Thank you, brother.
That says, hey, the hat. I love that this is called the hat now. That says, got any old strawberry candies they won't make anymore. Yeah, no kidding, man, for sure. But
I love it.
And there, here goes Hooligan Nation. Says, drops and says, let's dig between the couch cushions and donate what we can tonight with a $50 donation to the One Nation Foundation. My gosh, we can't thank you guys enough.
Jordan Ford and Hooligan Nation. Thank you, brothers. And thank you everybody else as well.
Thank you guys enough. So I got poker chips to make. So without further ado, sitting to my left over here, the real star of the show here, adorning the southern annex of the eastern annex of the Murf's Fan Cave desk. Please welcome in the lovely Michelle Swag.
Thank you.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Here, let's try that again.
Let's do it again.
Okay.
Michelle Swag.
Hi, Michelle.
It's a little delayed. You all call the hat, but I just call it Mabel. So
I love that.
It's good to be here. I'm excited to be here, even though I sound like I've smoked 7 packs of Virginia Slims.
Switch to the filters, huh, Michelle?
Lord. Oh no! Don't make me laugh.
Michelle's deal. But listen, playing injured. What a trooper you are.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
I wasn't gonna miss this. I would never miss this.
You're the best, and that's why you're a better co-host than Jeff.
Well, I mean, I do what I can.
Hey, yeah, you are. You are. It's fine. It's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with bronze. Still on the podium, bro.
That's true. That's true. You're still on the podium.
All right, we appreciate you, Raider Nation. Appreciate it. So I'll just give you, while Jeff's counting up poker chips over there before we get to our episode number. I'll tell you what, man. Let's go ahead and hit contact info, and then we'll do episode number on the way out. Let's listen to the great Uncle Mosh tell us how you can get in touch with us here at Raiders Fan Radio.
Oh.
Sorry, it turned when we had to reset.
Oh, that's okay. You know what, though? That's okay. I got it.
I got it.
Oh, I can get to it first. I got it.
Okay.
Woo! Hey, Raider Nation! You got your old Uncle Mosh here with an updated contact info. So sit up, zip up, shut up, and pay attention. You can call us at 909-345-3346, or as Murf would say it, 909-345-3346. How about emailing me? You want to email me? Email me at show@RaidersFanRadio.com. Or what about reaching out to us on some of that social media stuff Swaggy likes?
Hell yeah.
Try Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast. The Twit at Twitter at Raiders Fan Radio. Insta something. Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio. The tiki-tiki-taki-tok. TikTok at Raiders Fan Radio. Or what about the Twitch? Some of you out there twitching. Anyway, Twitch at Raiders Fan Radio. Or if you don't like that, go to the YouTube. America, go to the YouTube. YouTube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. Oh my God, if that wasn't enough, go to your podcast provider and search Raiders Fan Radio. Holy crap, that was a lot.
Good.
Hey, come on.
It may be the Offiest of the offseason, but our timing is
Always impeccable.
mid-season form. Schmucky the Raider Bear in there with a $20 donation says, glad to be here for the Offiest of the offseason, and thank you for being here. And thank you to all of those of you. You know, we start at the top of the show by giving respect. We're going to get to our episode number before we do that. I got to give respect. Listen, it's the 3rd of July, and while I said there's always some relevant Raider discussion to be had, in terms of like topical, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a lot. It's a little thin out there. So the fact that jeez,
easy, hot dog.
Hold on, just give me a minute. I'll get it started. It's got to turn over a few times. Making my glasses fog up. You stupid. Shut up. Shut up, you two. Jordan Forces, Foghorn Leghorn in the house. I say.
I'm telling you, man. Oh,
jeez.
All right, what are you
Can
saying
you let
now?
me get to this, please?
Will you say it?
I don't remember what I was talking about.
Well, it was hold on. Let me refresh your memory.
No, I was going to say it's a little. So the fact that everybody has shown up in the chat room tonight. And is here hanging out with us as we enter into our nonsense, which we typically do. And I joked about the show being esoteric and being a dog whistle, but it really is, man. Like,
it really is.
You are not only a hardcore Raider fan, but you're our people, man. If you get this, then like no wonder we all vibe so much. So thank you to those of you that are joining us in the chat room here on July 3rd. All right, so Jeff, what is our episode number for the night? Jeff always takes something significant within our episode number and ties it back to Raider Nation. And what do we got tonight, Bob?
Absolutely, man. So we got a career stat around here. We love a good career stat. So for episode 336, like Murf said, each and every week we take a significant moment within Raider Nation related back to the episode number. And this one we're going to be highlighting one of our faves, and that of course is Kenny King.
Oh,
nice.
Kenny King. I don't know.
That was a little bit of a curveball you just did right there.
Yeah, it was.
When
it
you
was,
lead with Kenny,
because
then,
I saw you perk
Yeah,
up.
hell yeah.
I saw you perk up.
He did that on purpose.
Yeah, Kenny King. So Kenny King, 85 games in the silver and black, 576 rushes for 2,468 yards, which is averages 4.3 yards per carry, which ain't no joke. 89 receptions for 715 yards, which is 8 yards a catch, no joke. And that doesn't include the 2 receptions for 93 yards and a touchdown that he had in Super Bowl 15, if you need him for that, 100%. So regular season, that's 7 rushing touchdowns and 1 receiving touchdowns. So that's 8 touchdowns. So that's 8 33 sixes.
What?
Kenny King is number 33, and a touchdown is 6 points.
Oh. Wow. Okay. All right.
That's a good job.
Good job, Jeff.
Great job.
I thought it was pretty good.
No, it was good. It just took more brain power than I was prepared to give. But it was good.
I was
a good
thinking
one.
we were adding 33 times to get to the so yeah. But no, you're good.
That was good.
Yeah,
it was a good
No,
one. Yeah.
I know.
It's July 3rd.
It's July 3rd.
No, it was
there
good.
you go.
Make fun of the way I talk.
Paul liked it. He says fire, Swaggo.
Oh, well, good. Well,
good for me and Paul.
Good for you and
Good
Paul.
for you too.
Good for you and
too.
Paul and your higher powers.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm still over here trying to do math. So
Hey, how about you flip it over and show this jersey?
Oh yeah, let's talk about that.
Absolutely. So if you see us in the chat, all these super chats that we've been reading off and stuff like that, and the poker chips that we've been making, if you're new to the show, so every $10 donation.
Sorry
tonight,
if you are.
And if you
our
are,
bad.
this maybe wasn't the best first episode to tune in. Try us again next week. But over there to
it's
my
only
left.
downhill from there.
sorry. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, and Steve Sheffer in the chat
nice.
says, "Okay, Swaggy, what happened to Grandma's curtains? LOL." Anyway, Raider Nation for life, and much love to the RFR family with the One Chip Gang with a $10 donation.
Thank you, Steve.
Much respect, Steve. Because you get poker chip number 12 tonight, because we are raffling off that signed amazing AFL Fred Biletnikoff jersey. So every $10, like we said, goes into the running. All the money that we make tonight goes to the One Nation Foundation so we can give to the Biletnikoffs themselves. So that jersey, actually, the guy that signed it is the guy that's getting this money.
Yeah.
So much respect
absolutely.
to all you guys. Keep these donations coming. We had a record week last week. Last week
Our
we
second all-time show,
second
right?
all-time, yeah. So I think a couple of years ago for the Fannies we did 1,500. So this past week we did $1,300 for that Howie Long.
That's
So let's
incredible.
keep this thing rolling, man. The One Nation Foundation cannot thank you enough for all of your unrelenting support. So yeah, let's do it big again tonight, man.
Awesome,
Yeah.
man. Awesome. I love it. Lee B. So there's one of our dog whistle guys. He says the show's going off the rails is half the appeal of the show. Raider 27
There
also.
you
These
go.
are the best shows. No one expects perfection here. Just a good time. Well, thank you.
Come on,
absolutely.
Alan.
We
yeah.
tell ourselves that all the time, so it's good to see it actually written out. So we appreciate that.
Appreciate the reformation
Yes,
there.
yes,
Yeah. Thank you very much. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and hit a quick break, and then I got an idea. Let's do some respect.
Oh, let's do that.
Let's do it.
Did I really just spill a drink on you?
Yeah, you spilled a cocktail all over me.
Is that how much?
fine.
How much on you is it?
It's in my
Just your whole
shoe. It's in my everything. My brand new shoes that
Is
I
it?
just got. Oh yeah. It's fine.
For her to do
Critique
it.
yourself. What am I saying now?
So Raiders Fan Radio. This is Swag Jeff and Michelle.
Raiders Fan Radio. Okay, all right, here we go.
All right.
Hey, my name is Lincoln Kennedy, and you are listening to Raider Fan Radio with Murf, Swag. I'm sorry. Let's do that.
No, it's okay.
Swag.
Swag Jeff.
Swag Jeff.
And Michelle, yes.
That's simple.
Yeah, that's like
Murf,
easy
Swag
one.
Jeff, Michelle. Okay.
There we go.
This is Lincoln Kennedy, and you're listening to Raider Fan Radio with Murf, Swag Jeff, and Michelle.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you, Lincoln.
sir.
Appreciate you so much.
That's great.
Hey,
yeah.
thanks a lot.
Appreciate you.
Really appreciate
Give it
it.
up for the legend, Lincoln.
Yeah, that was
Hey,
great.
the
That's
legend
awesome.
himself, man.
That is so cool.
Murf, Swaggy J,
Michelle.
Nation. It's time for a little respect. You know,
Sounds more like
respect ain't bought, it ain't sold, it ain't demanded, it ain't negotiated, it's earned. And without blowing smoke or giving shameless plugs, we want to say salute and much respect to the following folks.
Me. 2.5 men. Yeah. That was a callback from last week. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, you did, bro. Yeah, hell yeah.
Hey, Michelle, you want me to leave this filter on for the whole show?
No, seriously, the funniest thing would have been if you wouldn't have turned the filter on and neither one of you would have sang and just left me to start that.
Nice.
That would have been really embarrassing.
Oh. Well.
Thank you for not doing that.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for being on the show
I would
tonight,
have done
Michelle.
it to you, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there.
I love this.
See?
Oh, there it is.
Oh, it's
There
back.
it is.
And
That's
it's
back.
back.
Thanks.
And it's back.
One Chip Gang showed up again. Wyoming Raider in there with a $10 donation. Thank you, Wyo. Appreciate you, brother. And as Jeff mentioned, we are taking donations tonight so we can give away this amazing Fred Bolitnikoff AFL signed jersey. And Paul in there says she's a beaut.
It's a beaut, Clark. It's a beaut.
It sure is. It's a beaut, Clark. So we appreciate all those very, very kind donations, including our buddy there, Wyoming Raider. All right, so we got on top of the show here. We don't do props. We don't do shout outs. There's nothing wrong with those things, but we're Italian. We like to give a little bit of respect. Yeah. And we both, well, actually all three of us, have the same respect to give, and that is to two gentlemen that have been a huge part of what we do around here now, and that relationship is only growing with the One Nation Foundation, and that is our buddy, Josh Camonite, who is the head of the Raider Dad organization that takes underprivileged kids to Raider games and provides tailgate experiences for them, and not only for the kids, but their parental figures as well. And so we are appreciative of the amazing work that Josh does, and we gave a donation to them at the beginning of the year based on your generosity, Raider Nation, and it's now gotten the attention of the Raiders. So now the Raiders are now behind Raider Dad. They donated a suite for the upcoming, was it Copa America or Copa? I'm not a soccer guy, so I don't know but it's a soccer game, a big
and like a big time one.
Yeah, it's like Brazil and somebody, I think, right? And so the Raiders donated a suite to Raider Dad that they're going to take kids to the suite. Like, what a great
cool.
for a kid that doesn't get a shot to go and do that kind of stuff. For a kid to be able to go do that and then sit in a suite, for crying out loud, like that's pretty freaking amazing. And I've got something to tell you guys about here. This is what we're doing, boots on the ground here, for Raider Nation and for the One Nation Foundation and for Raider Dad. This just came out this last week, so this is put out by the folks at Boardroom. I'm not familiar with them, but what they did is they've compiled this list here, and this is the average cost per family to go to an NFL game. So this is for 4 of the cheapest tickets available, parking, 4 hot dogs, 2 beers, mom and dad got to have a cocktail, and 2 sodas, okay? The Raiders, by a long shot, are number 1.
Jeez.
Normally, these are one of those things where I'd make you guys guess, but I won't subject you to that. But you can guess who the other, I mean, there's a lot of obvious kind of choices in here. The Falcons this will give you the level of disparity, okay? To go to Atlanta and have the same experience, the average cost is $293.
Oh.
That's not terrible for a family of 4 for an outing. Like, that's not bad. $1,381 to go to Allegiant Stadium and see the Raiders.
That's bananas.
$1,400 for a family that doesn't have a lot of resources to begin with. Good luck. And frankly, that was my story growing up. That's why I never went to a Raider game until I got older, because it was so expensive to go to the Oakland Coliseum back in the day. My parents couldn't afford season tickets, even back in the 70s, like in the 80s. And then the Raiders left, but they couldn't afford it. And so it wasn't until the Raiders came back that we finally went. We'd only ever go to A's games. I never went to a Raider game when I was a kid, because it was cost prohibitive even back then. Well, now that's quadruple. We lead the league. Like, it's shocking. Like, we're over Dallas. We're over, like, you know what I mean? Some monster, venues and facilities. You think about like Minnesota that's got a new stadium, and like all the new stadiums in the league. And even Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz Stadium is not that old. No. And it's freaking like, it's $300 at $1,000 to go to a game in Vegas. Not to mention if you're out of market, like frankly, most Raider fans are, despite the good work and this is what kind of part of Raider Dad's mission, and the kind of dovetail into the conversation. It's part of Raider Dad's mission is raising up Raider fans in Las Vegas, in Southern Nevada. And that's hugely important, because you look at the vast majority of Raider fans, It's Los Angeles still to this day. Yeah. All we got to do is look at the heat map of those of you that listen to this show, and even guys like Scott Gilbranson and Mo Moten will tell you in Silver and Black Today, their heat map, it's Southern California. That is, to me, that's the epicenter of Raider Nation. Yeah. And I'm a Bay Area guy. San Jose, California, for crying out loud. But the epicenter of Raider Nation right now is Los Angeles, and the NFL has been widely exposed to moving the wrong team to LA. Anyways, all that said, that's where the fans are coming in from. Then you got fans coming in from the Bay Area. Then you got fans like us that have moved halfway across or further across the country that are coming into Vegas a handful of times a year. So to $1,381 and then, add 4 flights to it. Holy shit, man. Like, it ain't cheap to go to a Raider game. So what the Raider Dad folks are doing and that message and those actions and what your dollars are contributing to is massive. And that's why it's finally started to get the attention of the Raiders. And I'm proud of the Raiders for doing that. Like, the Raiders have been kind to us and invited us to a game and gave us tickets and like that kind of stuff. But these are the organization. These are the folks that are at the community level. Get behind folks like Josh Caminite and Raider Dad. Yes, we love your support too, Raiders or any other corporation. Yeah. But take care of these folks that are at the ground level doing that work.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I don't want to say but we're a fundraising organization. It's all about money for us. Yes, it's exposure so we can grow it, but it's all about money for us. For Josh, it's logistics. It's stuff. It's T-shirts for the kids. It's paying for a tailgate.
Yes.
It's those kinds of things. So it's in action, just like the Bolitnikoff Foundation. It's money in action, giving provisions to these young women at risk. It's giving them a place to stay. It's, you know what I mean? Like, it's money in action. So anyways, can't applaud the Raiders enough for get behind them. Can't applaud Harry Ruiz. And this is where my respect comes back to. Harry Ruiz, who is very much becoming a mouthpiece for the Raiders. He is the Spanish language broadcaster. If you're not familiar with Harry, this is like, talk about a salt of the earth, good dude. Speaking of Southern California Raider fans, right?
Harry's the best of the best.
Harry's a great guy, and he's given a voice. He's given a voice to us, and now he's given a voice to Josh Caminite at Raider Dad. And so let's check in with our buddies Harry and Josh this is on Raider Nation 920. So this is local Vegas radio. This is the JT the Brick Show where Harry fills in when JT's out. And so let's check it in and cannot respect these two guys enough.
Well, so shout out to Murf, shout out to Jeff, shout out to Michelle. They always talk about you guys. How important is it to have people that you can associate with like them?
It's been a great help to not only have their partnership, their friendship. Really, we talk regularly. But after season 1, I was trying to find someone to really buy into this. And at times, I was sitting there. I'm like, is anyone ever going to buy in to what I'm constantly out here preaching for? Raider Nation for these kids. And I believe it was through you or Silver and Black Today that Murf reached out through a tweet and just asked, what can we do to help you? And ever since then, we've created this great partnership. They actually not only donate to Raider Dad monetarily, they actually come out, see what the impact is, and try to help us to raise as many Raider fans as we can during the preseason.
That's always great, man. And that's what the Raider Nation's all about. And that's what I always say is like, yes, I broadcast the Raiders games on the Spanish side on the radio broadcast. But before everything, I'm a Raider fan, man. I'm a member of the Raider Nation. So like if folks like you are doing something amazing and you tell me it's like, hey, can you come out to the tailgate? I'll say yes in a heartbeat. And I'm definitely going to be checking you guys out, checking all the kids out and being able to enjoy some time out there together. So don't forget.
Yeah. Awesome.
No, that's great, man. Respect to Harry for giving Josh that platform and Raider Dad that platform and all that. And we echo everything that Josh said about him as well. We're thankful not only for the partnership that we have at the One Nation Foundation with Raider Dad, but also on a personal level, we're just friends with the guy. Josh Caminite is a really good dude. Yeah. And I love that he brought up that we're able to, we're fortunate enough to go out and see the boots on the ground. Because, there's sometimes...
Come see us. We're going to be there in August 23rd.
We're going to be there, Lot H. We're going to be there for the Niner game. So So, and I think his goal is like 50 families or something like that he's trying to bring.
50 kids and their families.
100%. So the generosity that you guys
help me
do.
with the math. That's what, 150 people?
Something like that.
If there's two parents or two parental figures involved,
sure.
That's a lot of people for free, y'all.
Yep,
they are going to this for free, and not only. And sorry, I'm totally stomping on you, but tell them like everything that they get provided for.
Yeah, well, it's a full tailgate experience. It's Jay's Gourmet, absolutely delicious, knock your face off food. That it's Happy Dad, it's Pepsi for the kids, it's all this stuff. It's just a space for these kids.
They get shirts, they get shoes, they get.
Do you want to tell it?
Well, just
your turn.
I'm just saying, like,
it's
impressive,
I'm doing
man.
it. I'm doing it. It's an amazing thing. And it's like it's a space for the kids. You see kids running around playing football. They're playing catch with their dads, and they're doing all this stuff and playing cornhole and all this kind of stuff. It's a full tailgate experience that without Raider Dad, these kids wouldn't be able to do. I mean, it's not Oakland, but it's about as close to Oakland as you can get. It's right next door to the J Lot, so you walk over there, you go do your thing over there, and then hang out with Josh Camonite, because what they're doing for these kids is an absolutely incredible thing. And like he said, we're fortunate enough to go out to that event and see the boots on the ground and see the work. I mean, Josh is covered in sweat and he's running around and he's taking pictures. There's the Avengers are normally out there taking pictures with the kids, all this kind of stuff. It's an amazing thing. And for those of you that are like, well, what does a nonprofit actually use their money for? Go to this tailgate and you're going to see exactly where your money's going, because it's, they got jerseys and T-shirts for the kids and all this kind of stuff. So Raider Dad is top notch. Get a part of it.
We need to get Kevin the Raider Nerd out there in his Mando.
Oh yeah,
that would be sweet.
The kids would love that.
The kids would love that.
Imagine being that kid, and probably having parents. I remember having parents who couldn't afford a lot of things, especially like this, and just having that opportunity to not have to worry, for the parents to not have to worry about, paying for food or paying for a shirt or paying for all the things. Like, what a relief for the parents, and to be able to help give those kids that experience. They're going to remember that forever.
It's a core memory.
And it is a core memory, and they're going to take it with them, and then they're going to instill that in their kids or friends or kids for whatever relationships that they come across. It can't be measured, the level of that. Like for I think about the parents, like how cool that must be for them to be able to take part in that and give those things to their kids when they probably never would have been able to do that. Like, that's just huge.
I'm glad you said that, Michelle, because that was something that I really noticed. And last year was the first year we went out there, and this is obviously, so this will be year two. I noticed that. You see single moms out there. You see grandparents out there. You see a lot of it's not just a mom and dad and a kid. It's there's a lot of different dynamics family-wise going on out there, and you could see pride.
Yeah.
And you could see that in the, gosh, I'm getting emotional. You could see that in the parents. And that means a lot to be able to provide for your kid.
Yeah.
And to be, and they don't get there without Josh and without Raider Dad. So literally the Lord's work out there. So help us, help them, help us, help the Bolitnikovs, and thank you, and cannot give enough respect to Josh Camonite and Harry Ruiz for the platform. Brother Harry, kindest guy we've met yet along the way in the media, and Scott too. There's other guys out there too, but the folks out there that are in legacy media that are giving voices to little old dopey shows like this, and that are giving platforms to Raider Dad and other nonprofits, man, y'all cannot be appreciated enough. Thank you, and we love you. All right, let's talk about the Raiders. Oh, you're good. I was just hitting the post.
Oh, okay. Well, hit that shit.
Yeah.
Patrick Claybon with NFL Network here. Hey, folks, I know 3 things you might like. Do you like football? Do you like the Las Vegas Raiders? Do you like listening to things? I'll add a 4th. Do you like swag? Well, here we got Swag Jeff, Murf, Uncle Mosh. This is Raiders Fan Radio.
Man, I've got certain information, all right? Certain things have come to light, and, given the nature of all this new shit, this could be a lot more complex. I mean, it might not be just such a simple,
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm blathering about. I've got information, man. New shit has come to light.
Believe it or not, new shit has come to light, and there is Raider news to talk about. And so let's go ahead and what the kids say every once in a while, Michelle. Let's talk about the Raiders.
The kids say that all the time.
They do.
They're saying that shit.
They're saying that.
I love it. Somebody was chirping us. One of our friends, I can't remember who it was, like somebody that's a really amazing supporter of the show, said like, this is a great podcast, and even occasionally they talk about the Raiders. It was really funny.
Yeah.
It was really funny. And so if you get it, you get it, right? But we thank you so very much for your support. Is there any super chats to shout out before
let's see here. Yeah, there was definitely some stuff. Slatus with a $2 donation. Yep. So much respect. He said, just listening from work, you guys rock. So much respect, Slatus. Can't thank you enough for that. Let me keep scrolling back up. Mark Barris in there says One Ship Gang with a $10 donation.
Hey, thank you, Mark.
100%. And then there was a couple other people. It was Raider75 that said, what's our PayPal? So I put in there, go to onenationfoundation.net/donate. You can go directly there, click that link. It's going to take you to our PayPal page. And the cool thing about doing it that way is that we keep 100% of that money on the PayPal. So if you donate on the Super Chat, which we can't thank you enough for that, but Google gets their cut. So doing it that way is really, frankly, our favorite way for that to do. But yeah. So and then just when Wendy comes in and says new shit's coming to light, love the Freddie jersey, and drops $20 to the One Nation Foundation. So yeah, much respect to you, just when Wendy, good friend of ours.
And Wendy, I got your jersey on the way. So Wendy won last week.
Yeah, she won the Cobes one, right?
She got the Cobes. Yeah, she got Jacoby Myers, and I sent out Hooligan Nation one. His is on the way, and Gil still hasn't sent me his new address, so I've still got Gil's in my car. But anyways, all right, let's talk about the Raiders. So, sometimes before you go forward, you got to go to the past, right? Mm-hmm. And no greater excuse than to go to the past than the great Al Davis, the man that literally invented the Raider Nation and the swagger of Raider Nation. Tomorrow's his birthday. I'm sure everybody's aware of that. If you're listening to this show, you know that already. But in celebration of Al's birthday, the birth of the Raider Nation and the birth of the greatest nation in the entire planet, the United States of America, we want to celebrate Al. We want to celebrate Al, and I couldn't think of a better way than when NFL Network did their greatest, they call it characters, but to me, I took it as like greatest figures of all time. And Al Davis was on the short list. He's number 2, and I can't remember who number 1 was. I think it was Lombardi maybe or something was number 1, which makes, that's fine. But Al Davis, literally, Al Davis was, as you all know, the maverick and the trendsetter and the guy that did things way before others did. And so this little clip here talks about that. And let's revel in the greatness of where this whole damn thing started. And that is with the legendary Al Davis.
As a young guy, I had a dream that someday I would build the finest organization in professional sports.
Al Davis was probably the single greatest force that the NFL has ever had.
You know, when you met Al Davis, it was like meeting, Frank Sinatra or somebody.
Just win, baby.
The pride and poise, the commitment to excellence, everything he talked about, he lived about it, he brought daily.
The Godfather. Me growing up in the Bay Area, Oakland at that time was sort of a gritty place. We always felt like we were the stepchild, and so you had this attitude. And Al sort of embodied that fight.
The prime thing is you have to win. You have to win. Otherwise, you can't be a success in professional football.
Let's go.
Our game was the throw-in, the deep ball. So with that ice, we had to move those receivers in, and that narrowed the field for us. I'll never forget Pete Rozelle said to me, well, it's the same for both sides. I said, damn it, Pete, you don't even understand what you're talking about. It's not the same for both sides.
No fights? Oh, man, we got to have some fights.
Here come all the Raiders. Holy Toledo, it's a free-for-all.
We are mavericks per se. We do our own thing. We want to dominate the environment rather than just be a part of the environment. I didn't care as much about being respected as I cared about being feared and being imitated. And then respect could come after that. I love the idea that I know down deep they fear us. They fear everything about us. Winning Super Bowls is based on power and physicalness. Within the first 5 plays of the game, the other team's quarterback must go down, and he must go down hard. When we came out of the huddle, we weren't looking for first downs. We wanted touchdowns. We wanted the big play. It's like having the bomb and being willing to drop it.
The great rivalries continue.
And to the people and the community in Oakland, we're proud to represent you and we intend to hold it. Thank you.
And that New York accent, man.
God, this is so good.
The Raiders. He's just, I can't help but smile when I think about Al Davis. He's missed, man. He was special.
The greatest organization in professional sports, the Raiders, a standard of excellence by which all other organizations could be measured.
He was his own man, certainly by any stretch of the imagination, had his way of doing things, and a lot of negative things have been said about Al, but the one thing I think that you'll find that will resonate from everyone who really knew him is that he was a very loyal guy. He loved his players, he loved the team, and he was totally committed and dedicated to putting the best possible team out there on the field. So whether you love him or you hate him, he certainly was one of the great characters in the NFL history.
This was the finest hour in the history of the Oakland Raiders. You were magnificent out there today. You really... And you tell them one thing. Just win. Just win.
Damn.
Wow.
You hear stuff like that, and he was such a brilliant orator that it makes me feel dopey, talking after that. You know what I mean? He's just the way he crafted words, and he's up there with to me, and this, I don't mean this to sound hyperbolic, but it's up there with George Carlin. To be able to craft language in that way, that's next, that's almost high level politician or something. I don't know, it's just Al Davis was just a effing genius at not only from the way that he spoke, but then the way that his mind works and the way that he not only crafted the Raiders, but then marketed them. And it's just a fascinating thing to me. And I know I'm in the bag for this stuff, as many of you are, and you two are as well. But when we really dig into the depth of what he did, I don't think it's an oversight. There's been very few people. I compare him to George Lucas or Tolkien or John Lennon or people that could create an entire world out of nothing. That's what he did. He created the legacy and the mystique of the Raiders out of the ether. That was all this shit, everything. Our tattoos, our shirts, our jerseys, our decor, our lifestyle, our hobbies, all came out of one dude's brain. It's fascinating to me, the level of Al Davis's functioning. And Michelle, I'll never stop being fascinated by that, and proud of it. And I'll lead you with this too, that we've talked a lot in the recent history of the show about how a lot of younger fans didn't know what the Raiders of the 70s or 60s, even 70s and 80s were like, and the heyday and all this stuff, when all this stuff was becoming, because it's just been in the lexicon of the Raiders forever now. Yeah. But when this stuff was actually being built and you were in the middle of it, it was mind blowing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know how you don't hear that and immediately, whatever team you were following, I don't know how you don't hear that and just jump ship and say, that's the team. That's the team I want to be involved. And then you're talking about him building that from his mind and then getting people to buy in and do and be where we are now, and holding on to it. And speaking of the loyalty and all of those things, genius is the only, and I know that's that's not a word you just throw around to everybody, but man, what a smart dude. And just, he had the swagger and the way he talked, and he it seemed effortless. But he was a calculated guy. But man, he just made it seem so damn cool.
Yeah.
Well, what's so funny about that is you're right, because I think about let's think about big brains. Think about guys like Steve Jobs, right? Or even George Lucas, I mentioned. They're dorks.
Yeah.
Frankly. I mean, I don't mean that like in a disrespectful way, Jeff, but like there's not a big personality there. You look at, you know what I mean? A lot of those guys that are those things, even I mentioned John Lennon, like even, you know what I mean? Like they're not, to have that level of swagger, and you're freaking, all about the swagger.
Yeah.
To have that level of swagger and be that, and then, by the way, the brilliant strategist that he was, an innovator on the field. Even those that knew him closest referred to him as Coach Davis up until the day that he passed. Like, he could be one of the most, in terms of like greatness in so many diverse areas.
Yeah.
Like, he's on the short, like, for real. And I don't mean to overblow this, on the short list of like people that have ever done it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he knew the culture he wanted to create. He knew the team he wanted to create. He knew the Raider Nation that he wanted to create and all that stuff. And I love that, who was it in the chat that said, Mark Barris, he said, and I love that. And I've heard this interview before. I love it. He calls it, Al Davis called it Gestalt, which is being able to perceive something and know what's going to happen before it happens. He knew what this whole thing was going to be. He knew about all this stuff that we have tattooed on our arms and all this kind of stuff. He knew the impact that it was going to have on people and stuff like that. And I love that he brings up and talks about he would rather be feared than respected.
Yeah.
All that, like, I mean, talk about the culture that now bringing it all the way back to 2024. That's the culture that has re-entered the chat, if as the kids say, is that because for so long, I know we talked a lot about how, towards the end of Al Davis's career, he kind of lost his fastball a little bit and some, questionable things that he was doing and all that kind of stuff. But then I feel like after Al Davis passed, there was a long time where, and I know that Mark tried to bring it back with bringing back Gruden and all that kind of stuff. But like now we're in 2024 and like, I know that it's kind of bananas to already be comparing, Antonio Pierce to John Madden and like all these different things, or, Max Crosby to Howie Long, or, or whatever. But like, you see the writing on the wall, you see the things. And so maybe this is what Al Davis was talking about when he said the greatness of the Raiders is in his future.
Come on.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Good stuff there, Swaggo. Good stuff there. And yeah, man, I love that what you brought up there about the Gestalt, the ability to see it before it happened. And I was listening to the newest Silver and Black, or a couple of the Silver and Black todays, as I was out driving around. And one of their episodes, they were talking about the greatest Raiders quarterbacks of all time. And I was really proud of Scott, but even more so Mo, because Mo's a younger guy. Mo's like your age.
Yeah.
He's a little bit younger.
Yeah.
Scott's around my age. And so Scott has a heightened awareness of a guy like Daryle Lamonica, right? And so they're talking about the greatest Raiders quarterbacks of all time. Both of them had Stabler at number 1, and then both of them had Lamonica at number 2. And they talked about how it's actually a pretty close battle. And although Stabler is by far and away my favorite player of the entire history of Oakland, Las Vegas, and Los Angeles Raiders, I get that about Daryle being that close, because that Gestalt, that future to see where this was going, Al Davis had that vision and then brought in a player, Michelle. In this case, we're talking about the quarterback, but then you could add in Warren Wells and you can add in Freddie Bolitnikoff into that conversation as well, to where they're literally doing things in 1969 that is still happening in 2024. If you took Fred Bolitnikoff, this is going to give me chills. If you took Fred Bolitnikoff, Warren Wells, and Daryle Lamonica and put them on a team in 2024, Daryle would throw for 4,000 yards, and each one of those guys would have 15 touch. Like, and that, you know what I mean? And that's not that far of an overshoot there. Like, and that's for 14 games in 1969 when everybody's running the ball and you could beat the shit out of the receiver.
Yeah.
Now these guys can't be touched. Freddie and Warren would be eating out there, Michelle.
Yep.
Yeah, well, and that, I know you guys have already said it, but the ability to see it, and then with just what was in his thoughts, to be able to create it and make it happen. And for the length of time and to just build on every thought. How do you pronounce it?
Gestalt.
Like that's just, it's such a rare thing for somebody to have. Just,
100%. And I love that you brought up about Daryl because it's seriously late 60s. He's playing ball like a 2024 quarterback. You know what I mean? And that's why, still today, Daryl LaMonica holds the record for most touchdown passes in a single season.
Yeah, with 34.
34 or 36. I can't remember.
34, 33, something like that.
Something like that. But anyway, that's a record from the 60s that hasn't been broken.
In 14 games.
And in 14 games, that's unbelievable. So, Al Davis talked about he'd like to be imitated. Well, the 2024 NFL is imitated after the freaking late 60s Raiders. Yeah. He wanted to be imitated. Well, he is.
There he is. Amen. Absolutely. Entire league went there. Anyways, good stuff there. Appreciate. Just again, can't respect Al enough. And so this prompted a thought that we had here. And so this is going to take some participation from all of those of you in the chat room. But don't feel like you got to jump on it right now. But please start throwing in some of your answers because we got a fun project we're going to work on. And so I had an idea for the month of July. So we got tonight's show, and then we got 4 more after this. We're going to do a swagger bracket. So
I love it.
Al Davis represented the origin of the swagger for the Raiders. And to keep it current, we see it in guys like Jack Jones, right? We see that literally swaggering boisterously into the end zone after you picked off Patrick Mahomes. We see it in Antonio Pierce. We see it in Max Crosby. We see it in a lot of the modern day Raiders. I would even say like a guy like JPJ could be one of those. Again, I'm not talking about performance on the field. I'm just talking about swagger. I'm talking about the way that you represent yourself. You represent the Raiders, the way that you communicate, all that stuff. So we're going to do a swagger bracket. So we're going to seed 32 Raiders. And then on Twitter, so if you don't follow us on Twitter, follow us on Twitter. We are at Raiders Fan Radio on Twitter. I'm at _Murf, MURF. Jeff is _Swag Jeff. Michelle is
hey_it's Michelle.
Hey_it's Michelle. So check us out on the Twitters. We're gonna vote. We're gonna put up because you can put polls on the Twitter. So we're gonna put polls on the X, as the kids say. Yeah. We're gonna put polls on the X. So go on there and vote each in between each show. We're gonna do one bracket. So we're gonna go 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, and then a champion, and pick who we think has the most swagger in the history of the Raiders. But Al Davis is not included.
No, because he'd win.
He's God mode. Yeah. Al Davis is God mode. You can't it wouldn't be a fun exercise because it would just automatically go that way.
Yes.
So remove Al Davis from the equation. 32 Raiders that you think have the most swagger. Think about your lists and then definitely hit us up on the Twitter at Raiders Fan Radio and we will do our voting there. All right, Swag Jeff, go ahead and hit a break and then let's talk about contemporary Raiders.
Las Vegas, a city without a pro football team, in a world gone mad. What can we do about it? Acquire the most desired franchise in sports history? Sin City, lost wages, home of the Elvis weddings, and 24-hour debauchery. But finally, a match made in heaven. The Oakland Raiders have landed in the desert with the Death Star as their home. And to celebrate beyond your imagination has come 3 individuals hosting the most irreverent show while paying homage to the storied history of this franchise. Raiders Fan Radio with Murf, Swaggy J, and Michelle, taking a lighter side journey into the dark side.
All right, appreciate you, Raider Nation. Appreciate everybody that's in the chat room. Let's see, we've got Jordan Ford is in there. Let's see, Jordan Ford is in there. Raider 27 is in there. Mark Barris is in there. SoCal Sal is in there. Kevin the Raider Nerd, of course, is in there. James Furpo is in there. Raider 75. We appreciate you, Lee B. Appreciate Hooligan Nation. MLA All Day is in there. Raider Nick is in there. George is in there. Paul is in there. Just When Windy is in there. So many of our good friends. Matthew Mangus, we appreciate you very, very much. And we are raising money tonight for the One Nation Foundation as we are taking your $10 donations per poker chip as we raffle off this amazing AFL Fred Biletnikoff jersey. It's a beaut. If you, for those of you that are on the video podcast.
It's a beaut, Clog. It's a beaut.
It's a beaut. So that AFL jersey, it's inscribed with the Hall of Fame from Freddie B, of course, and we are going to give all the money that we raise tonight to the Biletnikoff Foundation, so it makes perfect sense. All right, so I got a great comment in there from Captain Jack Rackham. Yarg! Bringing back the West Coast offense back to the NFL, not that mamby-pamby stuff from Coriel and Bill Walsh. Absolutely. And he also said that he's given away a couple of tickets to the game in Tampa. So for those of you that are within proximity or are already going to Tampa, we all going to be there too.
Yeah, we are. Let's go.
So we just figured that out this year. So we're going to be in Vegas for the preseason game against the Niners on the 23rd. Then we're going to be in Cincinnati when we do our joint tailgate meetup show thing we're doing with Scott.
And a lot of people are meeting us up there.
A lot of people are meeting us up there. So that one in Cincinnati, what's the date on that? Is it
November 3rd?
November 3rd. So if you're going to Cincinnati for that, look us up for sure. We'll keep you posted on we're going to do a pregame show like the Saturday night before. Scott's going to hook us. We're going to get like a bar somewhere or something. We're going to do a live show from and all that. So check out that. But then also in December, we'll be in Tampa, so we're doing 2 road games this year, which is going to be fun.
Yeah.
And we'll be down there, and our good buddy, our old school friend Mojo, is throwing a big tailgate game day, and we're going to go to the game in Tampa as we hopefully see our Las Vegas Raiders kick the shit out of Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans and all those other guys.
Revenge game on Baker.
Oh, my God. Oh, right?
Oof, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, thank you, Captain Jack. Appreciate that $10 donation and appreciate your support of the One Nation Foundation and look forward to hopefully seeing those of you in Vegas, Cincinnati, and Tampa Bay this year.
Yeah.
Or Tampa. It's not Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's a thing. It's not a place.
That is true.
It's true.
That's what the kids tell me. All right, next up, we're going to let's talk about some more current Raiders, or more current Raiders. No, for the first time, we're talking about current Raiders stuff. I want to talk about the quarterback battle. So this is fun. So this came across my feed this week. I don't watch much ESPN anymore. I think their overall programming has kind of gone down.
Yeah.
But NFL Network is basically non-existent anymore. NFL Network used to be a stalwart. It was the only, you remember, we would come here and the only thing that would ever be on my TV is NFL Network. Well, now all they do is replay old games. Like, I don't want to watch a game from, speaking of Tampa, just watch some old Tom Brady, Drew Brees game from a few years ago.
Yeah, don't care.
I don't care about that. GMFB's gone. Total Access is gone. I don't even know what they're doing over there. But anyways, all that said, I don't watch ESPN, but this came across ESPN, and guess what? They were talking about the Raiders.
Hey.
Yeah, and they were talking about the Raiders quarterback battle.
Okay.
I was like, all right. So I tuned in and watched this segment and check it out.
He is there. Gardner Minshew, an offseason acquisition. We thought maybe the Raiders would draft a quarterback. They did not. These are their 2 guys going forward. What's the latest on that battle between Minshew and Aiden O'Connell?
Yeah, so those 2 went back and forth in the spring. My sense is that O'Connell will have a slight edge going into training camp because he's been more vocal. He's acting like a starter. He's got the stamp of approval from Devontae Adams, who loves him. That always helps a little bit when you got your top pass catcher has your back. And I'm told Gardner Minshew has also made quite the impression. Showed a lot of moxie. He's going off script. He's changing plays in the huddle already. He's learning the offense quickly. And so it could very well be a situation in July and August where they split preseason games. Right. Maybe O'Connell starts the first one, maybe Minshew starts the second, or they flip-flop, but that very well could be the scenario. This is a true battle. This will play out. We don't see a lot of these in training camps most of the time. It's usually rubber-stamped, but this one will be pretty open, it looks like. O'Connell has made a good start, though.
And by the way, every time Minshew's had an opportunity somewhere, he's played well. And you can't take that out of the equation.
He's got the best job in the league. He can start games for you. He can be a backup. He's got a great personality.
Minshew Magic, who doesn't want to buy? This is a big throwback show today. Raiders haven't won a playoff game since 2002.
Hey.
It's not good. It's a long time.
You're bringing up old shit.
Yeah, we only bring up old shit when it's cool.
That's right.
Yeah,
But,
right.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about this quarterback battle. So
Yeah.
I hope it's not manufactured positivity on my own end here. Is that because I'm 100% guilty of doing that. I'm 100% guilty of being like, well, let's find something positive in this. But to go back again to the Silver and Black Today show, and shout out Scott and Mo. Scott brought up something on the last show when he was talking about old school Raider fans, how we don't react adversely to a guy like Minshew because we've seen Jim Plunkett. We've seen Jeff Hostetler. We've seen Rich Gannon.
Yep.
These guys that have had, I don't want to call them mediocre careers, but middling type career. Although Hostetler won a Super Bowl with the Giants when Phil Simms went down, but as a backup still. But they've had middling type careers and then come to the Raiders and all of a sudden they're winning Super Bowls, winning NFL MVPs, you know what I mean? Hostetler guiding the Raiders to the playoffs multiple years in the 90s. So we've seen these recovery projects work. And Minshew has, frankly, when you look at pound for pound, better numbers than those guys that I just mentioned did at their previous stops. So where it took the genius of Al Davis to see something in Plunkett or Hostetler or even Gannon, that's not as required here with Minshew because he's actually got solid numbers. He's got better numbers than Trevor Lawrence, and Trevor Lawrence got paid $1 billion. So, and then we've got the young guy in Aiden O'Connell, who's got probably a livelier arm, certainly a bigger ceiling, depending on how he develops. We know that if he can dissect and diagnose defenses at a more rapid pace, it will make up for his lack of mobility. There's a lot of good things coming out of both of these young men. And they're both that. They're both young men. This isn't a cagey veteran when we're talking about Minshew. He's not some 34-year-old, or even, I forget how Gannon was when he came to us, but he was like 31 or 32 or something like that.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So we're not talking about that. We're talking about these are still two young men. I'm actually kind of looking forward to this quarterback battle. And again, I hope that's not manufactured optimism. And it might be because I can't tell until we go back and listen to this a year from now, and then I'll be able to tell you for sure. But as of right now, my heart's telling me that I'm kind of looking forward to this, Jeff.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I think some of us have been looking forward to a good old quarterback battle for the last decade.
Come on.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I think that may play a little bit into that. But I am too, man. I'm super excited. I'm super fired up. I'm kind of with ESPN, and I know a lot of people have kind of said it too. I think O'Connell's got the edge right now because he's been with the team a little bit longer. He had the vote of confidence from AP, from Devontae Adams, all that stuff. So I think that he's probably got the edge. But I love the situation that we're in because, you got two completely capable guys that can do the job. And so, so I'm fired up to see which one of these guys comes out in the preseason and really shows us whatever, because I love the story of Gardner Minshew, kind of like what you just brought up, because that's Raider shit, man. Bringing in a guy that no one else wanted or anything like that. I love that, but I love that we can grow a guy like O'Connell, and I love that we're doing it our way. I think both of these guys, neither one of these guys fit the cookie cutter mold of what the quarterback of 2024 NFL is, because everyone's looking for their Patrick Mahomes, they're looking for their Lamar Jackson, all that kind of stuff. They're not, and the Raiders aren't, reaching to find that. They're wanting to do it their way, the Raider freaking way. Go figure, right?
Yeah, I think like you said, for however many years, there hasn't been a good solid two to pick from. It's like a okay one and then Connor
Derek.
Cook or whatever, or Derek, it's that's the only name I could, or that long neck guy.
Derek
You
is the
said
second
Derek.
choice.
I love that was.
Yeah.
I didn't mean,
No, you meant that shit.
But also, because
shit's
he
in
was
my
kind of
soul,
like
bro.
it really is. It really is.
It just comes out, man.
Yeah, it does.
You were so quick, dude. Like Derek. No, well, no, but yeah, but yes.
A drunken man's words are a sober man's thoughts.
That's it. That's it.
I'm gonna have another seltzer.
Seriously, no, yeah.
Speaking of manufactured optimism,
there you go.
Sorry. Shut up. Leave me alone, Derek Carr guy.
That's hilarious.
Derek Carr guy 49 on Twitter.
Yeah.
Derek Carr.
Sorry, Michelle. Sorry,
but you're making a great point.
Yeah. But I think it's like a win-win, and it might be manufactured optimism because I sort of live on that planet. But I feel like there is no bad. They're both, because Minshew is going to help raise O'Connell's level.
Yes.
Because, and it's his he gets a full off season that's just him learning and not having some fat-eared guy, you know, making him feel bad for who he is as a person. So yeah, to have that sort of freedom that Antonio Pierce has given him, this can only be a good ending, whoever gets it.
I'd like to think so. Well, hold on. I want to ask Michelle a question.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Jordan Ford in the chat there says he's still team guard dog. And so I want to ask you a question. So, and I'm not taking a shot at you, Jordan Ford, but I'm team Raiders.
Oh, sure.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I think that for at least what I can tell, and I know there's some people that are like, oh, you lean one way or the other. Like, I like Gardner. He's just funny.
Yeah.
He's just very
yeah.
Raidery to me.
Yes.
So I kind of like him. But if Aiden O'Connell wins the job, I'm team Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter to me which one wins. Whoever Antonio Pierce and Luke Getsy and like whoever they think is the best quarterback, I'm on board. You know what I mean?
I think like team, either one, I am the same. Whoever gets it, gets it. But for Minshew, I think for me, it would be nice to see him win out, because that sort of underdog story would be able to play out, and he would be able to get his flowers for being the player who we think he can be. But also, if Aiden O'Connell gets it, same thing. Like, because he kind of had a okay season, but maybe it probably wasn't as good as it looked, because he did have some help like from the defense on a few of those games.
Well, in that one game in Minnesota, like that was rough.
Yeah.
They get shut out and lose by 3.
Yeah,
like
so that was the bummer.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But so to see him win out would also be, there's no bad, but I guess I could see like picking one over the other, because Gardner does have sort of that.
He got the juice.
That he does have
He's
that.
got that swagger.
He does.
That swagger
we
we're just talking about. Like he's got it.
And I think maybe people don't want that sort of clean choir boy thing. And I'm not saying that Aiden gives that, but he kind of gives that a little bit. So maybe like people want to see something with a little more personality.
Well, we heard Antonio Pierce, Jeff, say that like we're encouraging him to be a more vocal leader. Like that's the thing that we want out of him. And a few people in the chat room has talked about, can you imagine a quarterback room of Daryl LaMonica, Kenny Stabler, and George Blanda?
Yes.
Like, Lord have mercy. What's up? Like, I don't know if we'll ever, maybe in the history of the NFL, have that level of a quarterback room. And then I remember when we brought that up to Freddie B, he was like, oh yeah. And then David, was that Hum? David Hum.
Yeah.
Yeah. David Hum was in the room as well. And we're like, holy crap, man. Like there's a freaking Raiders. But anyways, but all that said, like, I think it's healthy. And you touched on this point earlier. It's healthy for us to have a quarterback competition. And I don't mean to totally shit on Derek, but he was the clear-cut front runner to be our quarterback while he was there. So
because look at all of his backups. They were all shitty.
They were pretty scrubby.
Yeah, they were
they were scrubby.
They were pretty scrubby.
Yeah.
And Stidham or your guy Mariota might have been the best options. And listen, I mean, I know we love Mariota and we kind of joke about him on the show in Aloha Corner and all that. The game's kind of past him now at this point.
Oh,
you know
for
what I mean?
sure, 100%. You know, and I think that I think everyone was when the team decided or McDaniels decided to get rid of Derek Carr. You know, I think all of us, you know, as soon as that happened, we were like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have a quarterback battle. We're gonna get. Well, then we got freaking Jimmy Garoppolo last year, who was the clear cut. No one else was gonna. So now, finally, you know, finally we've got like, you know, let's see what the kids got. Let's see who they got. You know.
Yeah. Sorry, someone mentioned Paul said Peterman, Nathan Peterman. I forgot, deleted him from my memory.
All neck team.
Jeez.
Yeah, the neck. Jeez.
The only guy could challenge Peyton Manning for his neck. And eat corn on the cob from around the corner.
Goodness.
All right. So speaking of current Raiders, there's clearly a defined leader of this team. And yes, I know there are different leaders, offensively, defensively, all that kind of stuff. But listen, if Max Crosby hasn't defined himself as the leader and the face of this organization this offseason, then I absolutely don't know a player that has. And I love his willingness to be in the public eye. I love it that he's got his podcast. He does interviews. He was at the SAC Summit this past week. Like he's out there. Like we want to see a guy that's a prominent leader on our football team. We want to see you. We want to see you out there. And I'm not saying that you got to live the Raiders 24/7, but it's nice to see the players out there. And that's not a shot at leaders like a guy like Devontae Adams, who's a little more internal and a little more, although he went on Max's podcast. But and that's not a shot at them, but it's kind of nice just because we're fans. So this time of year
keeps our off-season content going.
It's kind of great for us. Like we're thankful for it. So 100%. Let's check in with.
Can I touch?
Please.
You talk about the.
Hey. Get definitive real quick.
I'm telling you,
the answer might be no.
Yeah, because
it could be yes.
Hey.
Doesn't hurt to ask.
Heyo. Yeah. So Raider 27 says, did anyone see the picture of Tyree Wilson next to Max?
Yes.
So I want to talk about that
shit.
And shout out to Mo Moten at Silver and Black today that was talking about one of the most improved, or who they think were going to be like the most improved players or whatever. And he said Tyree Wilson, and he goes, but he's going to have to rotate in with Malcolm Kuntz. I don't think so.
I disagree.
I don't think so because I think that he's packing on weight. I think because you look at him, holy shit, he is a monster. He is an absolute beast, and I think he's bulking up to play in the middle.
I think so too,
I think
bro.
we're going to see a lot of Malcolm Kuntz, Tyree Wilson, Christian Wilkins, and Max Crosby coming across that line.
Dude.
I mean, if that is successful, that has the potential to be maybe the greatest defensive line in the history of the Raiders.
I mean, you got Howie and Greg Townsend on the same line, and Lyle Alzado. So I mean, it's
sure, but it could be on the short list if all four of those guys start eating.
Oh my God!
Like,
holy cow!
Jordan Ford says he's yoked up like I've never seen someone make Max look small.
Yeah,
and here's the thing. So and obviously these guys will drop a little bit of weight as they go through camp and that kind of stuff. But I'm with you, dude, and I think that we were talking about, we got in the weeds a little bit. Our buddy Wyoming Raider in there, one of our chats earlier this week, and we were talking about how, and I'm not comparing the two players, okay, so don't go there with it. But you look at a guy like Aaron Donald. What made him so good and so dominant? And we're going to hear an Aaron Donald story later in the show. Is that he was undersized as a defensive tackle, but he was built not like a defensive tackle. I mean, he looks like a bodybuilder for crying out loud when you look at him. But he was so explosive and so strong. And then obviously technique and coaching and all that stuff comes into play. But that ability to do that, because with his size and with his frame, it kept offensive linemen from getting their hands on him and getting control of him. He was able to explode and get in on them quick and control what the offensive lineman was going to be doing. Again, not comparing them. But if you take that concept and then just put it in a bigger dude, holy shit, because we know Tyree Wilson is explosive. That's why he's an effective edge rusher. Now, as long as he doesn't lose that explosiveness from putting on the weight, and he's able to get in on offensive linemen, Michelle, if he's able to get on those guys, then you're talking about creating double teams. And even if he's not a kind of guy like Aaron Donald that's going to create a bunch of sacks from the interior, but if he can just start sucking up blocks, guess what Max Crosby and Malcolm Kuntz are going to do? Oh, yeah, and by the way, Christian Wilkins next to him.
Yeah.
Come on. So that's where Jeff is not totally crazy in bringing that up.
No, and Mark asked, are we okay at CB3? If that's stronger, then it alleviates some of the pressure from the secondary, like when the defensive line is disruptive.
Come on.
It's sort of I mean, I don't know, things might happen, they may sign more people, but it's going to alleviate some of that pressure.
Absolutely.
If they're so disruptive. Because Malcolm Kuntz, he became one of my favorites last season. So to see where he goes from
9
here,
sacks or something the last couple of games, something crazy like that.
So to see him progress, and then Christian Wilkins, watching the defense is going to be such a joy.
It's going to be awesome. And I want
about freaking time.
Right?
Yeah, oh God, thank you.
Finally.
Yeah.
Mark Bear, so yeah, great question. We okayed CB3. Yeah, because you got Nate Hobbs.
Yeah.
Because here's what I'm thinking is that, listen, KG veterans like Stephon Gilmore, guys like that, they don't want to sign in June or July or even the first part of August. They're going to sign later, like, because their bodies are in shape. They already know the shit. So if it's going to be a Dory Jackson is going to be your number 2 corner, well, then he's going to sign late. And oh yeah, by the way, in the meantime, a guy like Jacorian Bennett is getting all those snaps. So he's getting all that work. So it's a benefit for the Raiders. And then if Jacorian Bennett could come in relief, or maybe if he has a great camp, maybe he starts, and then you got a guy that comes in like a guy like a Stephon Gilmore to come in and relief and whatever. And then Nate Hobbs plays his true position, his best position of QB3. And then to say all that, so you've that defined, and then you add in this ridiculous defensive line, Jeff. And oh yeah, by the way, and put this in your freaking pipe and smoke it. All right. So projected defensive all-rookie team from Pro Football Focus, who I don't love. A lot of you don't love because Pro Football Focus won't measure heart. But guess who they put as one of their projected defensive all-rookie team linebackers, Jeff? Tommy effing Eichenberg.
No kidding. The guy that no one has been talking about right
Come
now.
on.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like this. Listen, I don't want to chills. I don't want to get all up in our feelings on this thing. But for real, y'all, we could be seeing a level of defense we haven't seen. So those pockets of improvement, okay? Like, oh yeah, we could do a little better at this position. We could do a little better at that position. Sure, but it's nitpicky.
Yeah.
This is the first time in a long time, Jeff, where we're not it's nitpicky. It's not like, holy shit, we need a middle linebacker.
Right.
Or, oh my gosh, we need safeties. Or damn, can we find somebody to sack the quarterback? Like for the first time, it's like all 3 levels of the defense.
All the holes have been
We
filled.
have freaking players at all 3 levels.
Yes, and I love that. And I love that you brought up the safeties right there, because I feel like for a long time it was always like, well, we've got one good safety and the rest is kind of like, oh, it's kind of iffy. Well, now we've got friggin' Trayvon Merrick, who's coming into year 4. Is he coming into year 4?
Yeah.
He's coming into year 4. You got Epps, and then you got Polamalu, and you've got Trey Taylor.
And Chris Smith.
And Chris Smith. Like, you've got a freaking room and a half right there.
Dude.
Like, I mean, and I'm so excited for Trey Taylor. I think because he was what's the award that he won? The Thorpe?
Yeah, Jim Thorpe Award.
Yeah. I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah,
like
best
that kid can ball.
Yeah.
Kid
and he's
can ball.
and much respect to our buddy Graff. He's gonna have him on his show this next week.
Yeah, he's been running through the rookies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Dylan Laube on.
That's right.
Yeah, good stuff there. So congratulations to our buddy Graff on getting those interviews. And yeah, man, I'm excited, dude. And I know we started this off with the quarterback battle, talking about that. But I think it's for the first year. Hooligan Nation said this year is gonna be fun. It really is, man. I mean, the last time I remember being this fired up was not that long ago. It was when, I hate to say it, but that one fat-eared idiot came in and was our coach. But then they got Devontae Adams.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And we already knew that we're going to have a pretty good defense. And it was like, oh, shit. Like, Derek's got weapons for the first time, top to bottom. We're going to be able to protect him. This team is going to go nuts, right? Like, and so that wasn't all that long ago. Unfortunately, that thing fell on its face.
It went nuts up here.
Yes. Right. And I think, and I would put the majority of that responsibility on Josh McDaniels.
Oh, yeah.
More so even than Derek. And we've given Derek plenty of shit on this show. This time to me, it feels different because it's a little more proven versus questions. You know, we didn't know what Josh McDaniels was going to be like in year 2 as a coach. I feel like we know what Antonio Pierce is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that he's going to go out and win 15 games, but he certainly has the potential to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We know who he is as a man. We know who he is as a coach. The players know. The media knows.
And other teams know.
Yeah.
Other teams know. Did you see the interview with Travis Kelce?
We're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. Well, before we do that, let's go ahead and click back in here. Or do you want to jump around? You want to do that first?
Sure.
I mean, I brought it up.
All right.
Sorry, I didn't look down the rundown.
Well, that's
I did.
Printed
No,
in front of you in your face.
Suck up.
Jeez. I'll tell you what.
Just trying to be the favorite.
Good. Hit a break, and then let's talk about Travis Kelce on Bussin' with the Boys.
Hey, Raider Nation, this is Max Crosby from the Oakland Raiders.
And goes down, and Max Crosby, who forced a fumble last week.
You're listening to Murf, Mosh, and Swag Jeff on Raiders Fan Radio. Thank you so much. Just win, baby.
Hey, before we jump into this, Swag Jeff, tell them about the donations we're taking tonight, where it's going, and what we're raffling off.
Absolutely, man. So if you turn the camera, and you already have, good job.
Thanks, producer Jeff.
The AFL Fred Biletnikoff signed jersey, man, right there. Hall of Fame 88 inscribed, certificate of authenticity included. That thing is so every $10 donation tonight to the One Nation Foundation gets you one entry. We've had 18 people already donate tonight.
Come on.
We're just shy of $500.
Yes.
So keep those donations coming, because at the end of the night, and I'm telling you, there's a lot of one chip gang people in there. So there's definitely
that was harmony.
My God,
it was like Lennon McCartney over here. What are we doing?
Kidding. No kidding, but there's a lot of good opportunities for you to win this thing, man. So definitely get in the mix. It's all going to the One Nation Foundation, which goes to the Biletnikoff Foundation, goes to Raider Dad, which we talked about at the top of the show. So definitely get in the mix. Help us out with that. We can't thank you enough. Murph, let's talk about Travis Kelce.
Oh my gosh! So Travis Kelce's name,
but this is maybe my favorite Travis Kelce clip ever.
Absolutely, the best.
And I've got a funny tag to this too. By the way,
good.
Yeah, I got a funny tag to this. So Travis Kelce, the hated Travis Kelce. I'm sure he's a fine guy, in real life, but on the field, yeah, we don't care.
I don't care.
Can't stand him. He was on Bussin' with the Boys. He was on with our buddies Will and Taylor.
Yep.
And in talking whatever, all things Taylor and Chiefs and Andy Reid and okay, I didn't even say it anymore. But I love it. This kind of slips out, and we already knew this about the game against the Raiders. I mentioned Jack Jones swaggering boisterously into the end zone, picking up Patrick Mahomes. We knew this was the game that kind of like reset them for the year. But listen to the tone from Travis Kelce, and don't tell me this shit ain't gonna linger into 2024.
At what point in the season did you kind of look around and realize these guys don't have the mentality we should have?
We got our ass beat by the Raiders on Christmas.
The Raiders.
I know. And ruined Christmas.
God.
Dude, Pace he had those dudes ready to brawl right there on the field.
They are kind of taking old school Raiders mentality.
100%, man, and I love that shit. And I was like, man, if we play with that kind of edge or that kind of like toughness, that kind of like don't with us mentality, like we won't be stopped.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of it ended up like that. But that Raiders game was definitely one of the turning points for sure.
All right, I'm going to let this thing go on, and here's why. Not in an exercise of glorifying the Chiefs, but you got to know your enemy, right? You got to know your goddamn enemy. We hate these MRFers a lot, but this is the mentality that they're going to be bringing in, and this is the mentality the Raiders need to keep up so we can keep up and surpass these stupid freaking ketchup and mustard Don McDonald's looking employee football team players. I don't even know if that made sense. I don't give a shit. I'm just all mad.
Yeah. You had to walk into that building and just start chopping dudes down at the knees, going at everybody. How'd Pat handle that?
I don't think I was attacking anybody on the squad. It was more so just like
Coach Reed.
That wasn't an attack. That wasn't an attack. No, you already know. It definitely looks like an attack. Yeah. No, I wouldn't like. It was like a nudge. Like, come on, baby, put it on me. Like that's what it was. It wasn't like I know. It wasn't. That's not what it was. Yeah. But I can see how it kind of looks like that if you don't have me mic'd up. But yeah, I forgot everything.
Is anybody else like on the team, like what leaders are kind of following your lead, or you're having that kind of conversation with like, yo, we gotta start finding our edge. I feel like we just don't have.
I mean, Mahomes is right there. Pat's he's the guy. You know, he is the guy that leads the team, and he's just you can't just ask him to do everything. You know what I mean? That's why you need leaders like Chris Jones, like and Drew Tranquil, guys like Justin Reed that are on the defensive side that are, you know, very smart, very vocal, know how to win. And then on the offensive side, like Creed Humphrey stepping up big, Trey Smith playing with that tenacity and stuff like that. It was definitely like a circle the wagons type moment after that Raiders game to like, yo, let's just do this shit for from here until this season's over with. Let's just lock in and just play with some more juice, man.
Yeah.
You, Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we're dealing with, y'all. And the Raiders have a tall task. It's a tall task in 2024 to beat the Chiefs. We already proved, obviously, we ruined Christmas, and that was great. It's great.
It was great.
Ruined Christmas. And then guess what? They won the Super Bowl in our house.
Yeah.
So who got the last laugh, right? So we can celebrate that idea, but at the same time, it's a big damn deal. And so first off, F you, Travis Kelce.
You, Travis Kelce. For
getting our coach's name wrong by calling him Coach Pace.
Yeah, what was that
It's
about?
Antonio Pierce, you jackass. And when we return to Arrowhead, or you come to Las Vegas, and we arrive with ill intent, violence,
physicality
and pain, you're going to freaking figure out real quick what his goddamn name is.
Yeah.
Okay? But this is the kind of shit the Raiders have. We've got to freaking, gosh damn, we got to beat these goddamn Chiefs. It sucks that the best team in recent history of football is our number one rival in our division with arguably the best passer in the history of the NFL. Sorry, that's the effing reality of it. And we've got to surpass these guys, Jeff. We've got to get over this thing. And so again, I love the thing. It was funny. It's funny. Wow, they ruined Christmas. Yeah, we did. Ha ha. And then what?
And then
we went home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's time to send their asses home.
Yeah, 100%. Well, you know, we talked a little bit earlier about, you know, how Al Davis said that he wanted to be feared more than he wanted to be respected. He wanted to be imitated and stuff like that. Well, that's exactly what the Chiefs did. They imitated what we did. We knocked them on their ass, and they said, oh, shit, we need to come with that juice. So Antonio Pierce, they're going to have to get the guys. We're going to have to go to the next level. We got to go to the next level, you know. And you hear Antonio Pierce on Max Crosby podcast talk about, we hate that team in red.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no one's allowed to wear red to the facility on Chiefs Week. No one's allowed, you know, I mean, like they got the Mahomes rules and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they're going to realize who the F we are pretty damn quick come next season. And I'm with a lot of people. You see a lot of people in the chat right now talking about, you know, we're going to sweep them. We're going to sweep them.
Yep. Okay, we better.
I think so, because the first place it starts is up here. And from that interview, the Raiders got in their heads.
Good call.
Because why even bring that up unless you are still thinking about what that must have felt like? So they've already started there. So come the season, that's the first shot. And I do think we sweep them, because I think we got into their heads that they did the first move, and now I think it can only get better.
Yeah,
that's such a great call out.
That's a great call
out. Raider Nick in there says rent free.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. That's it. Because you're right. Like, why else would it come up randomly?
Yeah.
Busting with the boys for
months later.
Months later.
Like, what was the turning point of the season? Was, well, we got our ass kicked by the Raiders. Okay, we'll take that. I mean, again, it's nice. Yeah, and we'll take that. But now it's time to capitalize on that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Raider Loco in there says, not to be superstitious, but I think the Queefs needed to win in Las Vegas in order for us to break the curse when that Queef fan buried their flag in our stadium when it was being built. There's actually, that flag got taken out. That's been confirmed as a myth. The Chiefs guy tried to do it, and they found it and pulled it out. And so there isn't a flag buried at Allegiant Stadium. But what is important, Raider Loco, and I think that it's a great point that you bring up. Yes, it's great to beat them in Arrowhead. Of course. To beat them on the road on Christmas for the entire world to see, of course. but we got to beat them at home.
Got to beat them at home.
Beat them at home.
We got to beat them at home. When half Allegiant Stadium is red, we got to freaking send those inbred idiot fans home pissed off because they lost a bunch of money on the blackjack table and their team lost on Sunday. Get on a shitty flight Monday morning. Like that, we've got to do that. You want to change the freaking momentum of visiting team fans in the NFL, Raiders? There you go. Start beating the God dang it, I'm getting close to swearing tonight. I'm fired up. Beat the goddamn Niners at home. Beat the goddamn Chiefs at home. Right? Beat these teams where they have these big followings that are coming in, Pittsburgh and whatever. Beat their freaking asses and let them not have fun.
Yeah.
Put it out of question. Do to the freaking Chiefs what you did to the Chargers.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's the kind of shit that we need to do. And guess what? Home field advantage will change real goddamn quick.
Yeah.
We've seen it. We were at the Chargers game, Michelle. When we knocked them out of the playoffs. There was a handful of blue and white jerseys in there.
Yeah.
But it was all silver and black for the most part. So if you start sending people home and they had a bad time because their team got their ass whipped,
they ain't coming back.
They ain't freaking coming back, Jeff.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, they're not coming back. They don't want to see that again.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I mean, let's create this home field event and let's get it back. Let's get it back.
Let's get it back, man.
You said it all, man.
Let's get it back. All right, let's go ahead and oh gosh, here we go. Let's tag this damn Kelce interview.
Let's tag it.
This is funny because and shout out to Bussing guys. We love us some Will Compton and Taylor Lewan. So they made the national media.
Did they really?
Yeah. So Bill Maher, of course, with his show Real Time on HBO there. he came on there and he's got this thing called New Rules. When he finishes off the show and he does new rules and hits all these different things. And a new rule here for when you go on the Bussin' with the Boys podcast.
New rule, don't go on a sports podcast and talk about your girlfriend. It's a sports podcast. You're supposed to talk about scores and trades and how fast some guy can run. Gay stuff.
Oh, my gosh.
Not the exact moment Taylor Swift won you over. Unless it was but it wasn't so shut up.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Well, there. All right, so what we're going to do next? We got time for one more segment?
Yeah, let's hit a break and go to the
hit a
last
break.
segment.
Let's do one more segment.
What's up, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Will Compton. You're listening to Raiders Fan Radio with my boys Murf, Swaggy Jeff, and Uncle Mosh. Tune in because they fucking put out a banger podcast.
Nobody enjoyed a good Donnybrook more than sixth-year linebacker Phil Villapiano.
This is Phil Villapiano, and you're listening to Raiders Fan Radio.
All right, let's do one more before we get to the Sea of Fans. So this is going back to last week. This is when Howie Long was on the Max Crosby podcast.
Yes.
And we've talked a lot tonight. We started off talking about Al Davis, of course, and so many things about the culture that has been built around the Raiders through the legendary Al Davis. And Howie brought it up, and I think this is cool. He talked about Max rebuilding the culture. And, of course, Antonio Pierce has been the biggest facilitator of that, of changing and rebuilding the culture of the Raiders. But like you mentioned about, you talk about Al Davis, and then earlier, Michelle, when you said that like you can have this great vision, but then you have to have people act on it, right? You have to have those you have to have John Madden, you have to have Daryl Lamonica, you have to have those people to build on that. And so while Antonio Pierce can be the catalyst, that was the word I was looking for. He can be the catalyst for the rebuilding of the culture. It takes guys like Jack Jones. It takes guys like, of course, Max Crosby to rebuild it. And for a legend, a Hall of Famer like Howie Long to recognize that and to bring it up to the guy face to face, I thought was pretty resounding.
The culture was an important thing. And you come in and I don't want to say it was void of that, but it had to be recreated. Yep. History's a great thing, and I know you appreciate history and the players that have come before you. But I think you kind of establishing a new kind of culture and making your own history is exciting for all of us.
Oh, there is.
Hey, well said.
That was a short clip there.
Well said.
You want to hear it again?
To the point.
Yeah, well, yeah. What'd you?
The culture was an important thing, and you come in, and I don't want to say it was void of that, but it
Yes,
had
it
to
was.
be.
It was void of that.
Yeah, it was.
History's a great thing, and I know you appreciate history and the players that have come before you, but I think you kind of establishing a new kind of culture and making your own history is exciting for all of us.
Yeah, 100%. Well, you know, it's so funny. This conversation that they're having really reminds me of the question that we asked a lot of people last year at the Bolitnikoff event. We asked a lot. You know what I mean? We asked a lot of those folks, how can we, thank you. How can we recreate the culture in 2023 of what you guys had back in the 70s and 80s? And they said, well, you can't. You can't. It was what it was. But the answer to that question really could be, well, if you have Max Crosby and Antonio Pierce, they can ring in a new version of that and get people under their wings, like you said, like a Jack Jones, like Robert Spillane, all these kind of guys, you know, like Devontae Adams, Christian Wilkins. You know,
I think he's going to be a
huge. So, you know, so that's how, but like Max and Antonio Pierce have done it so beautifully. They've been able to bring in, like, I mean, because it's not the past.
Right.
It's not the past. I mean, you know, I mean, it can never be.
Because we can't live there. What's what Fred Bolitnikoff famously told us. We painted some lines on the road a long time ago. Now it's time for these guys to paint their own damn lines.
100%. So, you know, but, you know, and the game has changed so much. There's stuff you can't do. You know, I mean, part of the culture in the 70s and 80s was you just put a freaking helmet in someone's back, and that's how you create a culture, a feared culture. But, you know,
shout out Ben Davidson.
There you go. But if you can, go in on Christmas Day and beat Kansas City, get in their head, rile them up, stare down Patrick Mahomes as you pick six's ass, that's how you create a culture.
Dude.
That's how you create a culture, right?
Yeah. Who better than Antonio Pierce and Max Crosby to be the ones to sort of, because Antonio Pierce played at a time when you could do a few, more things than you can now.
Sure. Yeah.
Max is in the current. Antonio Pierce completely understands the Raider way. Who better than those two to take everybody and lead the charge into the culture of the Raiders that fits the NFL today?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Absolutely. You can't tell me it doesn't lead to wins. And that's one of the things that, like, we battled with some folks, people that we like this offseason, was that, they were like, oh, we got to explore the coaches that are out there, and we need to take more interviews. I disagree, man.
Yeah.
We have the guy in-house. That's the guy that you focus on. And culture freaking does develop success. Like, it's every institution that's ever existed that has a positive culture has had a successful existence. Like, it's not rocket science. Like, it's if you can't put that math together, then I can't do it for you. Like, it's just the way that it is. So to have that positivity and that health around the existence of the institution, which is the Las Vegas Raiders, like, it's gonna breed success.
Absolutely.
It can't not, Michelle.
Yeah, I can't wait till they get a few games in and we can actually see the success on the field and off the field. Being able to see it in action, will shut all those people up, because I don't see a way that this success doesn't translate on the field. I just don't think that the wins are going to come. And even if there's games that there are losses, there's still going to be viable games that, they gave everything that they had.
100%. Well, and that's why last week I said that it feels very reminiscent of what the Lions went through with Dan Campbell.
The wins
may not come right away, but they are all in on that dude. And we bring in more guys like Christian Wilkins, like all these other guys that are also 100% in on the guy. And the wins will come.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yes.
We'll get there. I mean, I think it's going to happen sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to get there.
Absolutely. I do too. And I think that this Raiders team is I don't want to say historically underrated, but I think that they are in recent history, underrated. I mean, the addition of Brock Bowers is going to be massive. Like, I don't think a lot of folks, unless you watch Georgia football, which I happen to because Valerie's son is a huge Georgia football fan. So I watched more Georgia football over the past 2 years than I've ever have in my entire life. And watching Brock Bowers, and oh my gosh, like it's insane. The level of talent and the diversity of talent and the things that like he's just like a tight end version of Christian McCaffrey. Like that's what he is. Like it's crazy what this dude's talent set is, and the amount of flexibility and playmaking ability that he's going to bring to this offense. It's insane. Here we have been fixating on defense all night long, but offensively, yes, I understand the trepidation around quarterback. I get it that it's a veteran that's had some decent times and some challenging times, and that's an unproven rookie and all that kind of stuff. But when you look at the improvements that we have made and the existence of the play, so I pulled this for you guys again. Go back to PFF, which we don't love, but you can't measure heart. But when they evaluated the top 10 offensive lines in the AFC, the freaking Raiders are on the top 10 because for whatever reason, media is not looking at the addition of Jackson Powers Johnson. Right? We're not looking, I always forget his name, is DJ Glaze. We're not, look at the addition of DJ Glaze and his versatility on the line. Not looking at the previous performance of Thayer Munford. We're not looking at they're not considering this stuff. And it's like, because that's what uninformed media, and when you listen to Stephen A. Smith all the time or Colin Coward, they don't know the intricacies of the Raiders. They don't know the ins and outs and the daily version of what this team looks like. And so the Raiders, listen, they're number 10, but they're still listening to teams that are ahead of them. The Colts, the Browns, the Jets, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Steelers, the Chargers, the Broncos, the Dolphins, and then the Raiders. Well, guess what? A lot of these teams have in common, except for the stupid Broncos and the stupid Chargers. They're freaking playoff teams. Yeah. I mean, I know not the Jets, but they will be now as long as Aaron can keep his legs together. You know what I'm saying? But like, these are playoff teams.
Keep his legs together.
I didn't mean it like that, but
that's fine.
But also, it still makes sense. It still works. It still works.
I love the Aaron Rodgers highlights from last year of him running onto the field with
the American flag,
and then the credits roll.
Yeah,
like
so funny.
It's so funny.
It's so funny. Paul says pause.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, like, look at that, man. Like, we're on the freaking short list in terms of high level performance on the offensive line. We've got potential. I know it's just potential, but we've got potential at quarterback. We've got an emerging running back room led by Zamir White. We've got the freaking most dynamic offensive player in the draft, if not the history of recent drafts, that is now going to be in the room wearing 89. We've got the best route runner and wide receiver in all of football. On the other, start it up, Josh. Playing, you know what I mean? Like, dude, we've got one of the most physical wide receivers in football in Jacoby Myers. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you not be fired up. And the media that's like, 6 wins. Screw me, man. 6 wins my ass.
Yeah.
No.
How can that fail? When
That's
you
what
look
I'm
at our
saying.
pieces, it doesn't matter. Like, I mean,
I'm so mad.
Is it really?
Find me a Charger fan. I want to fight him.
Oh, no kidding. Is it really because it's Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell? Is that why everyone's shitting thinking that we're going to have six? Like, holy shit. Like, it doesn't matter.
We won 2 Super Bowls with Jim Plunkett.
Yeah.
Hello?
I know it's a different game. Yeah, I get it. But so did Eli Manning.
Yeah.
With a badass defense. Oh, speaking of greatest defensive lines of all time. There you go.
There you go.
Minora, Michael Strahan, like, right? JPP, like, they were freaking ballers up front. You tell me, okay, here's one for you, Raider Nation. Oh, gosh, I'm fired up tonight, y'all.
Holy cow.
Okay. OCU Minora, Jason Pierre-Paul, and Michael Strahan, okay? If you had to take the Pepsi Challenge and take that defensive line or Christian Wilkins, Max Crosby, and Malcolm Coots and or Tyree Wilson, whichever one wants to switch out, which one you taking? Sounds pretty similar to me, dude.
Yep.
Like, if it's at a minimum, it's a conversation. And they beat the undefeated Patriots in the Super Bowl. That's what the impact of a defense can have like that. And then, oh yeah, by the way, you protect your capable quarterback.
That's all you got to do.
That's all you got to do.
And you have Plexico Burress and David Tyree and whatever. Like, that's the formula for this team. Oh yeah, guess who played middle linebacker for that team?
Hello.
Thank you.
Hello.
Come on now.
All right, hey, why don't you take a chill pill and let's hear from Raider Nation, because more of them and less of us is clearly a good thing.
Every week now, Renegade.
There he is, fading, looking. He's under the gun. He's tied, he's thrown. It is. He caught it.
All right. So welcome back. This is the Sea of Fans mailbag, because more of you and less of us is a good thing. So if you want to reach out to us, you can do that a couple different ways. You can hit us up on the email machine. Then that email address, if you got something to carve the info into your dashboard as you're driving down the highway, that is show. That is SHOW@RaidersFanRadio.com, or you can call us at 909-345-3346. That is 909-345-3346. You can do one of those two things, and if you call or email, if you email an undisclosed amount of times, or if you call and leave voice messages 3 times, you become a made man or a made maiden here at Raiders Fan Radio. So before we jump into those, I do want Murf, if you want to flash that jersey up one more time. We are $20 away from $500 tonight. So if someone wants to drop a 20 in there, I'll tell you this: someone drop a 20, I'll give you an extra chip. Let's get the $500.
I'll tell you what, I'll pitch in the $10 just to make it right.
There you go. There you go. Let's get to $500 tonight and then some and all that. But every $10 donation tonight gets you one entry into the running to win this signed AFL Fred Biletnikoff jersey. It's a beaut, Clark, right?
Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh!
It's a beaut, Clark. It's a beaut.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. 100%. So get in the mix on that thing, man, because we will be doing the raffle as soon as the Sea of Fans mailbag is over, and we've only got a couple emails and a couple voicemails, so definitely get in the mix on that. The end.
Oh, okay.
The end.
So Michelle always reads our emails, and she does such an amazing job with it. And if you want to email the show, you can email the show at SHOW@RaidersFanRadio.com. And Michelle, who do we have tonight?
All right, so we've got Hooligan first.
Hi, Hooligan.
Okay, RFR, hear me out. 5 weeks away from Raiders football, and for the first time, I'm feeling good about the future of the Las Vegas version of Raider Nation. What you guys and those like Josh Caminite, Raider Dad, Harry Ruiz, JT, Scotty, and Mo, the OLV crew, and on are doing one Black Sunday at a time is carrying the torch and sharing a love of this franchise with the next generation. You're building what will be a resurgence of the greatest fan base ever. I mean this, so turn your radio up. We will have home field advantage. I'm not one but two stadiums, so bleep your team.
Nice.
This is Raider Nation. We like Bebe's kids. We don't die, we multiply. But okay. So we get home field advantage. Okay, so what? We still have to win, right? Well, when we had Carr, all everyone could ever talk about was needing a defense. Well, here you go. We have created what could be one of the most disruptive defenses in the history of the game. I mean, well, Max is Max, but did you see Tyree at the Sack Summit? I mean, holy shit. That man is going to be a problem for Mahomes and Herbert. He has grown in all the right ways. He's been putting in work and has the mentors to grow him to a juggernaut. AOC or Minshew have enough to get the job done, and with 12 personnel capabilities, we will have the weapons needed to put winning points up on the board. Coach Pierce has brought the swagger back to the autumn wind, and it has us feeling a certain kind of way. Gone are the days of ho-hum teams. Back is the real commitment to excellence. Something special is brewing, and it's not a seasonal Modelo. Say it with me. 13 wins, playoffs, first playoff win since January 19th, 2023. The drought will be over. Just win, baby. Hooligan Raider signing off.
Nice. Woo-woo.
Murf's not here. to hit the button.
That's all right.
Yep, we did it. And it sounded like he hit the button.
He sure did.
All right, so next is Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Evening, everybody. Hope all's well. I'm still seeing a number in Raider Nation that are being negative towards the season ahead. Some of the comments are constructive, but most of it is flawed logic. So I'm making a plea to those that are still unsure about AP's 2024 Raiders. The feeling around the organization since the end of last season has been extremely positive. AP has chosen his coaching staff wisely with a good blend of youth and experience, and nobody seems frightened to have an opinion or to believe in themselves, and they're playing or coaching with freedom. This is a stark contrast to the bloated ego of McWeenie, where everybody was walking on eggshells 24/7, and the stumpy, visor-wearing turd of a dictator would only follow his own misguided, destructive plan. The partnership between AP and Tom Telesco is in its infancy, but seems strong already. We'll see the true benefits of their work relationship over 2-3 years and beyond, but already it's starting to show positive results. If AOC 12 or Gardner Minshew work out, then all is well. If they don't, then 12 months from now, we could be in a hell of a strong position to trade for a top-level quarterback with our cap space, and we'd have built a roster with quality everywhere. So a QB may be all we need at that point. Not Dak Prescott, though. Please, not him.
Oh, my gosh.
Please, not him.
Please,
not him.
No.
Personnel-wise, we've drafted really well, and I know one man doesn't make a team, but the signing of Christian Wilkins will make a huge difference and is being overlooked by the media. That one signing alone could free up 4 or 5 other players, and they could be Crosby, Kuntz, Wilson, and Spillane. There's an air of caution needed. We do have a lot of newness around that we need to keep in mind, and there are still a few weaknesses. But the good thing is we know what they are, and we have adults in the room now that are methodical in their approach and will put things right before kickoff. In the past, we've probably all screamed that we were going to achieve success without really believing it. This year feels different. There's a lot to be excited about, and I truly believe that if you can't get excited about an Antonio Pierce-led team, then you'll never be satisfied about anything in life.
Come on.
And football probably isn't for you. From where we were to where we are now is like jumping from Taylor Swift to Led Zeppelin. So what's not to love?
Let's go. Love it, Paul.
We've seen what the Raiders look like when they have no winning culture. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
When we have no winning culture, team spirit, or leadership, and a lack of talent depth, and it isn't pretty. We've got all the unity you could wish for in the locker room. We have talent all over the place, and we're adding to it all the time in a measured and constructive way. As for leadership, come on, folks. AP is the real deal, and he's about to lead his nation to war. I bet Max and the guys can't wait to get things started. I know I can't. So enjoy it, people. This is a positive time to be a Raider. We're about to see the first year in what could be an extraordinary decade for the Silver and Black. Embrace it because we've been down the other road way too many times. The greatness of the Raiders lies in the future, hasn't been as relevant for years. So tell me again, why don't you believe in the 2024 Raiders? Have a great July 4th, everybody. Stay safe, RFR family. Love you, Raider Nation. His Lordship, the Royal Scribe, Paul Edgerton, Shropshire, Mississippi. Pauly Award winner 2019 and 2022. Foggy Glasses Award winner 2020. BRT Sizzler Scorekeeper. Proud made man.
Oh. Five times 3 plus 3. Well, plus 3 times 2.
Winner, just times 3 plus 3.
Yeah,
he got the one last week.
Yeah.
Was that
sorry, I screwed that all up. My bad, guys.
5 times times 3 plus 3. Winner of the Raiders Fan Radio BRT Sizzler Award.
There you go.
Paul.
Paul, your name Paul?
Paul. Paul.
I met him with Paul. Who? Paul.
Paul, yes, Paul.
Paul's not here. Hey, Paul. Paul.
Hi. I'm Paul.
Darn right you are, Paul. And we love Paul, and we love all of our folks over there in the UK. And sorry about that whole 1776 thing.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry. Yeah. But anyways, we appreciate you. So
Insert eagle screech.
And I'm proud to be an American, for at least I know I'm free. Oh my gosh. gosh. Oh, yeah. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Be
Yes.
safe out there. And I hope you all have an amazing day tomorrow. And not only celebrate, of course, the legacy of this great nation, but also the birth of the Raider Nation as we celebrate Al Davis's birthday. All right, next up, let's go and get to some of your calls. So if you want to leave us a voicemail, you can leave it at 909-345-3346. That's 909-345-3346. And we've got 3 to get to tonight. And after we hear those, we're going to award our best of award, which we call the Sizzler, and that goes to the best emailer or phone caller of the night. So let's go ahead and kick it off with our buddy up in St. Louis. He is Jay.
Murf, Swaggo, Michelle, and if all things are promised, Jeff's hat. Speaking of Jeff's hat, I got a couple jokes on deck that I didn't get to use last time.
Oh, no.
First one, Jeff's hat is so old, it understands the Dewey Decimal System.
Oh,
nice.
good one.
Nice.
Second one, Jeff's hat is the one at the family reunion you most regret meeting because it's going to pinch your cheek so hard, and you just don't want that kind of action.
She makes great potato salad.
And finally,
Yes,
Jeff's hat is the one that says "keep the change," and the change is a quarter.
Oh,
Raiders. This is Jason St. Louis. I don't know if I said that or not. Peace out.
Nice.
That's nice. Good job, Jay St. Louis.
Yes.
Hey, do we shout out these super chats?
Oh, yeah.
We got
do it.
Yeah, let me get it. We got Raider Craig in there, says, I'll take an extra chip. A good show tonight, team. Thank you, Raider Craig, with a $20 donation going to the One Nation Foundation. Very kind of you, my man. Thank you for that. Also, East Coast Raider with a $20 donation says, keep doing what you do. I'm so glad I found this show. You guys helped me be a more positive Raider fan. It's definitely more enjoyable this way. Raider Nation for life.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
That's
you know what?
high praise.
That is very high praise. And, you know, and that's kind of the way that we look at it, man. If we're going to be invested in it, might as well enjoy it. And you know what I mean? And it doesn't mean that it's always going to turn into what we would hope that it would be. We just try to find the good in things. And I will tell you this. I'll make this a brief talking point. It's easy to be a critic. It's easy to shit on the Raiders. There's been plenty of fodder for that. To shit on the Raiders. Yeah. It's a path of least resistance, frankly. What's hard is to try to find something good, right? It's hard to find positivity. I don't feel challenged in that as much nowadays because there are so many things to be positive about that are inarguable that we've already seen play out in front of our eyes and on the field and in the office and all that stuff. But there's a challenge to that. It's people that like to talk about their favorite football team and share it with you all in the chat room and all of those of you that subscribe to us in the audio podcast and whatnot. Like we get on a microphone and you can take one of two paths. You can either shit on the team and be critical, or you can look for things to be positive about. And again, I hope that it would never come across as blind optimism, because even though it may be in retrospect at times, we've been guilty of manufacturing it, but not for any reason other than we just want it to work so bad. Yeah. It's not for a click. It's not for a like. It's not for a subscribe. It's not for any of those things. And it's just the passion that we have as Raider fans because we love this football team so much. And we want them to be so damn good, Michelle, that it just ultimately comes out and exudes in positivity. And again, so that's why it's called Raiders Fan Radio, because we're just going to be fans, sometimes at a fault, but we'll own it when we are.
Yeah, I mean, the thought of picking the least, like the shitty things that are happening, like I wouldn't even want to be involved in something like that. Like I'm not trying to make myself more sad when it's
There's
already
plenty
sad
shit
enough.
already
Right,
sad.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we've been down low. Like there were some times we were like, this is what could you possibly say that's positive at this point? And we do our best. Yeah.
When we were in the shit of Josh McDaniels,
rough times, man.
Those first few weeks of that last season, hell yeah, that was rough.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You got
sad.
people yelling at our owner and all that. Like that might have been some of the
that was low.
That's maybe
that was a low time.
Low.
Since this show started in 2016, right? You know what I'm saying?
ATL, all-time low, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, but this means a lot to us. This Raider fandom ain't no joke, it's faith, family, and football, and the Raiders are way up on my shit that I like the most, you know what I mean? So, so why would we shit on them?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we're going to find some, even at the lowest of the low. We could talk about how great Max Crosby is.
Right.
We could find something to latch onto and be excited about because why the hell not?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, because, I mean, we're not going to like something that's going to make us miserable.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, and it's easy. I mean, it's easy to shit on the Raiders. It's easy to be a critic of the Raiders. It's easy to question the Raiders. And I'm not saying like to be a completely blind optimist here. I'm not saying like, you know, just like, you know, look, we're not trying to put lipstick on the pig, as the kids say. But, you know, like, but I'm not going to search for that. We're not going to seek that out. We're going to seek out the positive things to look for. And then again, in retrospect, then go back and fairly look at it. Like, okay, here's what we felt in the moment. Here's what we were trying to find positive in the moment. And then if it doesn't work, a la Josh McDaniels, a la Derek Carr, a la, you know, Ron mentioned the 100 screen passes to Jamal Charles. like you've referenced back to things like that and you go, okay, well, yeah, that was rough.
Yeah.
That's a rough thing. And then we can fairly look at it. And that's another reason why we typically don't project about the Raiders and say, here's what they need to do.
Right.
Here's what they should do. Here's the direction they need to go. I'm in it for the moment.
Yeah.
And we'll respond and react as things happen. You know what I'm saying? That's why one of the reasons our show's on Wednesday. So we can react to what happened on Sunday, not profess what we think is going to happen on the next following Sunday. But great comment in there. Appreciate you all so very, very much. Appreciate East Coast Raider. I'm almost as old as Murf. Almost being the operative word there. Been a fan since the 80s. Yeah, man. Me too, brother. Well, 70s, really, technically. But yeah, man, it's, and I think that, well, whatever. That's going to start a whole nother rant. I'm going to shut up because I could go on and start connecting me with those times of the past, man, and we're not going to do that. All right, let's go ahead and get to these, continue with the calls. Thank you to Jay in St. Louis who just called in. Next up, let's check in with our buddy in Fresno. He is Jacob.
Jeff, Murf, Michelle. This is Jacob from Fresno. What's up, guys? Listen, I want to preface what I'm about to say with a little bit of, you know, let's take it easy. I think I'm looking at it realistically. Our ceiling this year, you might disagree. I think our ceiling this year is a 9-win team. I think we can go 9-8. Anything above that, I would be absolutely flabbergasted, surprised, cannot believe Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew led a 10-win team. That would be insane to me. But with all that being said, I remember Trent Dilfer and that great defense that took him to the Super Bowl and won. And let's pump the brakes, but I mean, what, our assistant head coach was a defensive coordinator there. He's got his hands in what we're doing here. And you know, I just see there's a lot of writing on the wall, man. Our defense looks pretty darn good. Jack Jones looks pretty darn good. Max Crosby, everybody knows he's pretty darn good. These guys are legit. This defense is crazy. Tyree Wilson is in Twitter. He's going crazy with the muscle shirt because he posed with his arms in front of him. I'm into it. Whatever. Let's do it. But I'm going to take a picture like that. I'm going to stand next to him, and I'll look bad. But anyway, listen, guys. This defense has an opportunity to do something historic this year. I think we will be the best defense in the league. If we aren't, it's a huge disappointment because we got everything that we need. We got everybody that we need. We need to go out there and execute. And how many people would be – look at the last few Super Bowls. I mean, it's Chiefs. You know, Patriots. Nobody wants to see that anymore. What if we went to the Super Bowl this year? What if it was Raiders, Lions? What if it was something like that, man? Lions have a chance to make history. They're the underdog. Everybody wants to see the Lions get that Super Bowl, but then the Raiders come in and they play the ultimate bad boy role, and they get number 4. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce are in fear, watching as they sit down on their couches. The Raiders took them out in the AFC Championship. I'm ready for this season. Let's go, Raiders!
Holy crap!
Wow, just on fire, bro.
Damn, dude. Leave some for the rest of us, man.
No
Jeez,
kidding.
that was awesome, man. Give it up for our good buddy, Josh in the 703. Jacob and Fresno. All these J names. Yeah. Jay, Josh, Jacob. Yeah.
Right.
Appreciate you very, very much. That's a great call. Next up, let's check in. Let's go down to Houston.
John, Jacob, Jingleheimer, Smith.
Oh, I thought it was Schmidt.
Is it Schmidt?
What did you say, shit?
Schmidt. He said Smith.
Smith.
Oh, Smith?
I thought it was John, Jacob, Jingleheimer, Schmidt.
Jingleheimer, Smith.
That's
Why you always just got to side with her?
That's his long-lost cousin.
I'm going to look this shit up.
You need to.
His name is my name, too. My name's Schmidt, so that's why his name is my name.
Whenever we go out.
You can hear the people shout.
I know that.
John Jacob Jingleheimer.
You don't know that? You don't know that?
There's a whole nother. There's two shows going on right
Jordan
now.
You don't says know it's Schmidt, and Raider 75 said it's Schmidt. So clearly, I'm right.
I'm
all right.
Of course you're right, Michelle. Thanks.
All right. Continuing with the Raiders. And we had a couple of calls come in, too, while we've been here. So
good.
We got two bonus
Score.
calls coming in.
Nice.
But so we got three more in total. Let's next go down to Houston and check in with our buddy, Houston Raider Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Murf, Mosh, that's why Jeff. Michelle, happy 4th of July to everybody, nation. Houston Raider Steve, I just want to say
Steve, my bad.
that we're shutting down the Oakland Hilton after all these years. That was the Raiders team hotel for many years. When our friend Coach Flores was the play-by-play person over there with the Raiders, he continued to stay there. Al Davis had two rooms made into one room, and unfortunately when Al passed away, he passed away there at the Hilton. A lot of people remember going over there after Raiders weekend, all of us from out of town and everything. You'd see Gorilla out there. You'd see our friend Greg Papa, play-by-play of the Raiders. You'd see Coach Flores out there. You would see Cliff Barnes. You would see Raider Ron Ricard, the general. You'd see our good friend that played University of Miami, Ted Hendricks, out there.
Yeah.
Go to the bar, you'd see, of course, you see Rod Martin. And you would always, it was really neat because you met people from all over the place that were Raider fans. And it was really special to go out there, especially after they won. I had a lot of great memories of going out there. What are your great memories of going out to the Airport Hilton to Raiders weekend? Great day to be a Raider. All I can say is the future looks bright. You got to wear shades.
Come on, Steve.
Sing it.
I think the Raiders are going to do a lot better than what a lot of people expect. What say you? Happy 4th, everybody. Happy and safe. Go Raiders. Goodbye.
Hey, good job, Houston Raiders, Steve.
That's a great call, Steve.
I've never heard a bad Steve call.
No, never.
Never. Absolutely not. No, and I love it. We love it when he sings and when he brings up lyrics and stuff.
Yeah.
Great stuff there from our buddy Houston Raider Steve. All right, we got two calls that came in late. I don't know who they are. Actually, I think
one of them's Captain Jack.
It was Captain Jack.
And it definitely has beeps.
All right, well, I'll try my best, Raider Nation, but if you've got young ears in the car, earmuffs, as the kids say.
First off, you I won't say it. I'm trying to keep it clean. How you doing? This is Captain Jack here. It's great to hear that butt plug Kelce.
Oh, hey now.
Even though he gave us a left-handed compliment, that those bastards knew what the hell hit them on Christmas Day. And my God, I want to do it again. I want to sweep them. I want to sweep those fuckers. Sorry, I don't know it is.
Yes. Hey, you nailed that.
But damn it, let's do it this year. Let's sweep them. Let's get the friggin' Broncos swept. And obviously I want to sweep the fucking Charger garglers too. The chokers. Fuck them all.
Oh, shit.
This is our year, and we're going to do it. Now, whether we're going to win the West or not, that depends. But you know what? I think we can. And I definitely know we're going to be playoff bound this year. Yeah! So say it, Captain Jack.
Are ya fuckers? This is Captain Jack.
You're listening to the soothing sounds of Raiders Fan Radio with Murf, Uncle Mosh, and that wonderful gentleman, Swag Jeff.
What the fuck are you doing?
Nice, Jack.
Love it. Good to hear from Captain Jack.
Yes.
Love it, love it. Great stuff there from Captain Jack. Yeah, man, I'm with him on the Kelce. Like, well, whatever, we already hit on that. But good stuff there from Captain Jack. YO says with a bunch of laughing faces, I love Captain Jack. Everybody does.
Yeah.
No one's ever met or engaged with Captain Jack and not come away from that guy and enjoyed their experience. So good stuff there from Captain Jack. All right, next up, I don't know who this is. We got one more to get to. Is this? I think this is Rafa. I think this is El Capitan Rafucho.
Oh, nice.
Hello, everybody.
Yes.
Raff in the building, El Capitan Rafucho. So I just wanted to tell you happy 4th of July.
Oh, no.
What happened?
I hit the wrong button. Talk amongst yourself because I'm playing these things live.
Oh,
they weren't downloaded.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Talk about the jersey, Jeff, before I load it up.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, one last final push. So we are $40 away from $600 tonight for the One Nation Foundation. So definitely get in the mix. If someone donates 20, I'll do the same thing as I did to our buddy Raider Craig. I'll throw you an extra chip or whatever. Let's get this thing. Let's rack it up. Let's raise it up.
I'll do the 10 on the chip to make it.
Okay.
Deal, 100%. But yeah, but this signed AFL Fred Biletnikoff jersey with a Hall of Fame 88 inscription right there. So it's all going to the One Nation Foundation. We're literally giving it back to the guy whose name's on that jersey right there at the Biletnikoff Foundation. So much respect to all you guys. Thank you for your support.
Hello, everybody. Raff in the building, El Capitan Rafucho. So I just wanted to tell you happy 4th of July, which is tomorrow. And I just wanted to tell you, happy birthday, America. Happy birthday, United States. Even though that I'm from Venezuela, but I feel like more American.
Come on.
And you know why? This season, we're going to have so much different about it. And right now, I just saw for the online process, the wide receivers, the quarterback. I mean, everything's going to be good enough. It's going to be because right now, I just see like more than this one, because this is going to be like to pay in tribute to Jim Otto, the greatest one. But I know this team's going to be really shaking it up. And some media, they're just talking about it, say, hey, the Raiders are not going to make it because they're just like the worst team. So guess what? Forget about the whole drama. Forget about Taylor Swift and the Chiefs, because we are going to the first place. Because right now we have all-stars like Max Crosby, Robert Spillane, Devontae Adams, the battle of quarterbacks, which is Aiden O'Connor versus Gardner Minshew. But I'm feeling good right now. It's going to be like more successful. This year is going to be more successful because after the whole drama of Josh McDaniels, I mean, this time there's no holding back. There's no excuses. So I just wanted to tell you. And forget about my language, because right now, this year, the Raiders are the baddest mother freaking team on the planet.
Come on.
And no one can beat us. No one. So I just wanted to say salute to Michelle, Murf, Swag Jeff, everything about for the Raiders Fan Radio. I'm a huge fan. Listen every episode. I'm considered one of the coolest fans who listen Raiders Fan Radio, because they know everything about the Raider Nation. So I cannot wait to see you face to face, just like in a tailgate. But
brother.
I'm not going to pay $20,000 for a tailgate. I just wanted to hang out, drinking some beer, tacos, everything, listen to Mexican music. I mean, everything's going to be good. So I just wanted to tell you, salute to everybody else on the chat, panel, Raiders Fan Radio. Here it is, El Capitan Rafucho, Ralph in the building. Raider Nation for life. Salute!
Oh my gosh! Incredible call.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible call. Man, and I cannot wait to meet up with you face to face, man. That's the stuff that's some of my favorite experiences that we've had since we've started this show, and the community that's evolved around Raiders Fan Radio. Michelle, when we go to a tailgate or we go to an event like Bolitnikoff or whatever, and we get to see the folks that we see in our chat room or that are callers, and we get to have exchanges with those folks, whatever. And listen, we're just a dopey little podcast, but like the folks that are listeners and supporters of this show, y'all are diehards, man. You're here every single week. And so when we get a chance to freaking shake your hand or hug your neck and share a beer and a taco and, you know what I mean, an experience with you, like that's some of my absolute favorite moments of this.
Yeah, to put a face with the name that you see in the chat so regularly, it's cool. And then you get to have small conversations and hear about their Raider fandom and where it started and how it's grown and how they've met people through the chat and how they've met people at tailgates. And you really see the family portion of what Raider Nation is about. And yeah, just being able to have a tamale at Gil's tailgate, and share a beer or a shot or something. Yeah, it's like it really puts that connection. You get to shake their hand and hear what Raider Nation means to them. Is really cool.
Absolutely. When we met Van City Raider
100%
this year, and he came up with his flag.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, of course there were Corey flag. Like there's numerous amounts of folks. And so I don't want to start naming because I don't want to leave anybody out, but like people that we see all the time, and then we see them at a tailgate or like, and when we met like Corey Fleck, for instance, that was in Nashville.
That was here.
It wasn't even in Vegas. It was like, and so it was like, or Georgia Patriot was another guy that was there. It was like, you know what I mean? You see his name in there all the damn time. Jesus Alvarez, speaking of that. Another guy, or Jesus of Alum Rock. Like, it's such a cool experience, man.
Yeah.
We love that. And Rafa, we can't wait to meet you and see you, face to face as well. And listen, I just want to tag this real quick before I turn it over to you, Swag Jeff, and we give this jersey away. If you're going to be in Vegas on August 23rd, or if you're going to be in Cincinnati on November 3rd, or if you're going to be in Tampa, Florida on December
9th? Oh, 8th. Yes, 8th.
Okay. Those three we're going to be at, and we're going to be doing tailgates and hanging out, and especially the first and last one. And yes, the one with Scott too for Cincinnati, but that will be more of a Saturday night hang. That will, and there's a gosh dang it. Slow down, Murf. There's a Facebook group that's that Kevin the Raider Nerd started for us called Raiders Fan Radio Meetups. We will put all of our info for where we're going to be and when on that Facebook page.
Yes.
So if you're not part of that page, request to be part of that page so you can get in there. So if you're going to be in Cincinnati that weekend, then you'll see all the info that we're going to have, because we're going to do a really fun live show / listener meetup in Cincinnati that all three of us are going to be at. All three of us will also be in Tampa, and then Jeff and I will be at the Raider Dad event this year, because Michelle is going to be tanning on the beach for
yes. But I'm sorry that I'm going to miss it, though.
You are, and Michelle really tried to. Tried to figure it out to where we could all make it together, but unfortunately the calendar conflicted this year.
Yeah.
But those 3 dates, come see us, man, and not even just come see us.
Yeah.
Just come be part of the Raider Nation community, because it's not about like our thing. It's about like the collective, the community.
Just the community.
Yes.
Yep, 100%. So,
I put the meetups address too in the chat.
I saw that. Yeah,
awesome. Thank you, Michelle.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, click that link and request to join for sure. So each and every night. So once we get all the emails and all the voicemails and all that, we'd like to give it a little Sizzler Award, which goes to the best emailer or phone caller of the night. So we started the night with Paul and Hooligan Nation. And then on the voicemail side, we had Jacob in Fresno, Jay in St. Louis, Houston Raiders Steve, Captain Jack, and Rafa. And tonight's Sizzler Award goes to a guy that kind of got his call in at the buzzer right there. Our tonight's Sizzler Award goes to Rafa.
Oh, nice.
Sizzler.
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 Sizzler. Sizzler.
We are Metallica, and we are here for your Oakland Raiders!
You know why we out here, and we ain't playing around today.
From The Walking Dead to errant Jedi Knights, Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
Jordan Ford says, wish I could meet you guys in Cincy. Dude, like, even if you don't go to the game, come
party with us for a minute.
Come party with us for a minute.
Yeah.
Come meet us at the meetup on Saturday, or come to a tailgate. Mojo is going to put on a great tailgate for us in Tampa.
Yeah.
And so come see us there. There's been, well, in fact, we're going to have one of those this year. When we go out for Biletnikoff, we're not sticking around for the game.
Oh, yeah.
We're going out there for the Biletnikoff event, and then we're all splitting on Saturday.
Yep, 100%.
And then we're going to be back home for Sunday. So we're not even going to be at the game. So even if you got a chance just to come to the tailgate, come hang out, party with us a little bit, definitely do that. All right, let's give this thing away and then get out of here for the night.
Absolutely.
And thank you to all of those of you. I just want to let me express gratitude real quick while you're stacking that up. Thank you to all of those of you that have donated tonight. 100% of your money goes to Raiders-related charities through our fundraising organization, which is the nonprofit. Well, it is a nonprofit. The One Nation Foundation. Yeah. And we thank you so very, very much. This money is going to not only Raider Dad, but is going to the Biletnikoff Foundation that provides safe places and rehabilitative services for young women at risk of domestic violence and substance abuse. And we can't thank you enough, Raider Nation. You all are the absolute best. Your generosity never goes unnoticed. We just cannot thank you enough for that. Thank you so very, very much. And so, Swag Jeff, who do we have tonight, and what are we going to give away?
Absolutely. So we're giving away this signed Fred Biletnikoff jersey. So let's just go down the list. So tonight's donations: Raider Kyle, $40 donation. James Williams, $20 donation. East Coast Raider, $30 donation.
Thank you, East Coast.
Kevin the Raider Nerd, $20 donation.
Thank you, Kevin.
Matthew Mangus, $10 donation. Jordan Ford, $20 donation.
Thank you, Jay in St. Louis.
Let's see. Schmucky the Raider Bear, $20 donation.
Schmucky.
Lee B, $30 donation.
Thank you, Lee.
Steve Sheffer, $10 donation.
Thanks, Steve.
Mark Barris, $10 donation.
Thank you, Mark.
Just Win Wendy, $20 donation.
Thank you, Wendy.
Raider 75, $20 donation.
Thank you, Raider 75.
Trinidad, $20 donation.
Thank you, Trin.
Captain Jack, $10 donation. Raider Craig, $20 donation.
Thank you, Raider Craig.
James Furpo, $10 donation.
Thank you, James. I believe that was his first super chat.
It sure was too. Yoshi, $20 donation.
Yoshi, thank you.
Oflo, $20 donation. Let's see. Jason Hunter, $50 donation.
Thank you, Jason.
Let's see here. Hooligan Nation, $50 donation.
I sent your jersey today, buddy.
Oh, nice. Wyoming Raider, $50 donation. And then the leader in the clubhouse tonight with $100 donation, Big Shane.
Thank you, Shane.
So we're gonna. I'm mixing this up right here. So we're gonna let Michelle give it a good mix as well. Going in there. Yeah. Mix it up good. And here we go. Number 13, that is Wyoming Raider. Wyo Raider, congratulations, my friend. You are the winner of the signed Fred Biletnikoff jersey.
That is awesome.
Nice.
That is awesome. Hey, I've got a One Nation Foundation shirt, and I've got I've got the Raider Happy Dad shirt.
Oh, nice.
The one that's I've got that. Let's give those two things away.
Okay. All right. Good deal.
And take notes for me, too, so I know who won these
I
things,
will.
please.
Yep, 100% will.
17.
Number 17, Trinidad.
Hey, there you go,
Trinidad,
Trin.
you've got yourself a One Nation Foundation shirt.
Yes, absolutely. Sweet.
Yeah,
one more. Yeah. And this is for, I should have brought it up here with me.
That's okay.
It's it says Happy Dad, but then it's got the happy crossed out and it says Raider above it.
Oh, nice.
It's cool. Yeah.
Oh, 17 again. Wow, he only
Wow,
had
how
2
about
chips.
that?
Wow, look
Jeez.
at you, Trinidad. Go buy a lottery ticket or something.
20.
Number 20, that is James Furpo.
Hey, James Furpo, the Raider Dad shirt.
Yeah, send us an email. You can send it to show@RaidersFanRadio.com with your address, and we'll be sending you that shirt.
Whoop whoop.
Oh, woo.
Oh my gosh, I love you guys so very, very much. Thank you so very much for your generosity. We cannot appreciate you enough and your support of Raiders-related charities through our foundation, the One Nation Foundation. We're going to see you next week. We're coming every week in July. We're going to be back here. We may even do the Fannies next week. Fannies, well, that's our award show. Will either be next week or the week after. Depends on when Jeff Murphy can be here. But we'll keep you posted on that. Just find us on the socials. Look at our Facebook page at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast. Look for us on the Twitter, or the X as the kids say, at Raiders Fan Radio. Look for us on TikTok. Jeff's killing it on the TikToks here lately. Those are funny. Michelle's killing it on the Facebook. So we're having a blast there on social media. So definitely check us out there, and what our schedule is going to look like for this month. We're going to have a lot of fun talking Raider football, raising money for Raiders-related charities, and can't do that without you. We love you guys so very, very much.
Yeah, listen, thanks everybody for hanging in there. Happy birthday, Al Davis.
Come on.
Happy birthday, America.
Come on.
I mean, let's go. Let's go.
And happy birthday, Raider Nation.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Man,
So, and thanks to everyone in the building. SoCal Sal, Just Win Wendy, Raider Nation for life. James Furpo, Mark Barris, Yoshi, Kevin the Raider Nerd, Paul, Lee B, Ty the Raider, the whole crew, man. Much respect to each one of you guys. Tonight, I didn't even announce the total. We raised $600 on the nose
that's
tonight.
amazing.
Hey,
Thank you.
$600. Much respect to all you guys. The 22 folks that donated, Big Shane, Raider Kyle, Jason Hunter, James William, East Coast Raider, Kevin the Raider Nerd, Matthew Mangus, Jordan Ford, Hooligan Nation, Schmucky the Raider Bear, Lee B, Steve Sheffer, Wyoming Raider, Mark Barris, Just Win Wendy, Raider 75, Trinidad, Captain Jack, Raider Craig, James Furpo, Yoshi, and Oflo. Can't thank you guys enough for tuning in.
Hey, shout out Kevin's thing there too, please.
Absolutely. Kevin's thing. Remember, July 18th, Raiders and Movies and TV coming soon on the Fandom Podcast Network with Murf and Rich Smelter as well. So definitely hit that up as well. So much respect to all you guys that have tuned in. Respect to you guys on the audio. If you've come back and not watching us live or any of that, wherever you listen to the show, we can't thank you enough. Much respect. You've been listening to Raiders Fan Radio with Murf and Michelle, and I'm Swag Jeff, the three best friends that anyone could ever have. Don't forget, boys and girls, what happens in Vegas is started in Oakland.
And we're the three best friends that anybody could have. We're the three best friends that anyone could have. We're the three best friends that anyone can have. And we'll never, ever, 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 ever leave each other.
Get out of YouTube!
Goodbye.
Don't die.
Don't lose any fingers. The fireworks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was fun. Oh, shoot, I haven't hit the button yet.
Oh.
Just press the damn button, nerd.